Of course, I'm muted again. Hello, everyone. What's up, adventurers? It's me, DMPaulG, and welcome to Lore Academia. For those who don't know, I am an adventure writer, mostly for Dungeons and Dragons Adventures League, which is the 5th edition organized play system. And I am also one of the new what do you call this? Storyline coordinators for the Moonshae Isles for Ballman Games together with Savannah Houston McIntyre. And yeah, welcome everyone. Chaos is here. A Deven M is here. Naisumisu is here. Perfect attendance for both Chaos Hammer and Naisumisu. Good job. Good job. Ninja Gal is here. Hello everyone. And yeah, it's time to do some research. Yesterday, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think it's my internet provider. My internet speed just went to zero point 0.5 Mbps all of a sudden. So even after restarting my computer, I can't stream again. So I just said, you know what? Screw it. Just do it tomorrow. And it sucks too because I was excited because I found these adventures from 4th edition. Yes, I'm a 5e baby. As I mentioned yesterday, I've only played, I'm not sure if it's 3rd edition or 3.5. During high school, I played like 2 or 3 sessions, 1, 2, 3 sessions. And then that's it. After that, I wasn't able to play D&D again until I found 5th edition. Started with when Princess of the Apocalypse came out. And from there, I just continued playing D&D. And so I have no idea that I had an idea, rather, that there's an organized play system before 5th edition, but I don't know what it was called. And then I figured out that for 4th edition, it's the Living Forgotten Realms. And there are adventures there that are for the Moonshae Isles. So we had to stop with reviewing Rising Shadow Adventures because I'm too excited to review these adventures. And again, we're not gonna look. We are. Yes, I keep kind of correcting myself, where we're not gonna focus too much on the mechanics, on the writing, on gameplay. What we're here for is to extract lore, right? That's our primary objective. Is we want to learn more about the Moonshaes. But since it's me, I don't think I'm gonna be able to stop myself to as a designer to stop myself to look at some mechanics, way it was written, things like that. So we're gonna talk about those a little bit, right? And the first adventure that we're gonna talk about from 4E is Nature's Rat. That's the first one. It has the MOON1-1 adventure code for Living Forgotten Realms. But you got 4E books, but never used them. Oh man, that I don't know. Well, I have a lot of 5e books. I barely use any of them. Speaking of which, yes, because before we start reviewing these adventures, do you know that Dragonlance hardcover from Wizards of the Coast is out now? So you can purchase them if you're into Dragonlance, you've read the novels, you're a fan of them. The Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen book is out now. And yes, you can purchase it. Another thing that's good, let me check. Because there's a lot of things that happened today. So we're just gonna we're just gonna chill and chat for a little bit. And then let's see. Where is that? There is in D&D Beyond, where you can find like the digital version of the books, a lot of source books, resources, all that stuff. and where you can also create your own characters, use their character sheet option there. There is a free resource, which is the Monstrous Compendium Volume 2, which are Dragonlance monsters. I'm sending the link now to our chat. I hope I'm sending the right link. I'm spamming it here. There. So that's free. All you have to do is just go there. No, I'm not sponsored by D&D Beyond. I hope I am, but I'm not. I'm just here to do some research with you folks. So you can get those for free. The reason why I'm telling you this, because one, I'm excited. Dude, there are some really cool monsters there. There's a red dragon, a named red dragon, and then there's like a leader from like the Shadow Queen horde. Yep, and then there's also like a walrus person enemy, or not really an enemy, but it has like a monster stat block. So you can view that, get it for free, claim it, so that when if you're planning to get the Dragonlance book from Wizards of the Coast, then you have that free companion resource. Also, now that we're talking about Dragonlance, oh no, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff because I'm now remembering things. As I mentioned, I'm the one of the storyline coordinators for Moonshae Isles for Balman Games. And every month, Balman Games has an online event called Virtual D&D Weekend. And you can just go to the Yawning Portal. I think the tickets go on sale like 10 days before the event. The event is happening on December 16th to 18th. So there. And then so if you want to play online games, Ballman Games, you have that every month called Virtual D&D Weekend. And you can purchase tickets or get like slots to play games at the Yawning Portal. So just put it in your favorites or something, and then if it's less than 10 days, you can go and find the games you want to play. And the reason why I'm telling you about that is because PAX Unplugged just happened last week, and Balman Games was there, and we revealed some Dragonlance adventures. Because for Balman Games, we're taking care of 3 storylines. Moonshae Isles, which me and Savannah are the storyline leads. And then we have Dreams of the Red Wizard. And then we have the third one, which is Dragonlance. Yes, so Dragonlance, we have John Christian, who is one of the storyline coordinator. That dude is amazing. Every time I talk to him, he's just full of energy. He's very passionate about Dragonlance, and you just want to work with him because he wants like to talk about Dragonlance nonstop, and he has like full of ideas. And then the other storyline lead or coordinator for Dragonlance is Alan Patrick. If you've been in the AL scene, Adventures League scene for quite some time, then you know Alan Patrick. He's, if not the best Adventures League adventure writer, he's definitely in the top 5. So that was when I was just starting and writing adventures. Like this is the guy that like my goal. Like I want to reach that level of writing, of like how he produced adventures. So now we're both storyline coordinators. So look at that. But yeah, so we have an epic, which is a multi-table adventure happening in Virtual D&D Weekend 2 weeks from now. Is it going to be 2 weeks from now? Yeah. Which is called Dragons of Destruction. And then the other one, let me go to the Yawning Portal. I know it's here. The other one is like the first adventure, Dragons of Divinity. So if you're into Dragonlance, yes, join. I think I'm going to run the epic. Yes, I'm going to run the epic. So you can join my table if you want to. It's all part of the Vault of the Undying storyline. Look at that. Even the name of the storyline that they came up with sounds awesome. So that's all Dragonlance news That's not what we're here for. We're here for the Moonshae Isles, right? But before that, you see, before we go straight into our Moonshae research, I was browsing through YouTube, and did you know that there's an update for Elden Ring? Yeah, like a free Coliseum update with PvP happening, all that stuff, right? So I haven't. I look at it. I saw it. I watched it, and can you just imagine if there's gonna be an esport for Elden Ring, right? It's like a PvP for your Elden Ring characters. Yeah, they have PvP settings. I think it's like multi character PvP fight and then 1v1 as well. Well, based on the trailer that I saw. Yeah, but imagine esports Elden Ring. How awesome is that, right? And then other games will follow suit. That'd be amazing. It reminds me of King's Avatar anime. If you haven't watched that, you need to watch it. It's pretty cool. All right. There. So those are the things that a lot of things happened today, right? And none of that is related to what we're supposed to do here on stream. But I just want to let it all out because I'm excited about those things. Hopefully you are too. And yeah, we could check them out after the stream as well. So, but we're here to talk about Living Forgotten Realms Moonshae Isles Adventures. We're gonna pause on the Rising Shadow Adventures, which is the latest event that happened in the Moonshae Isles. We're gonna go one step back, and we're gonna go with what happened before that, which is this one, the adventures that we're gonna talk about. There are 7 adventures, I think, that are out right now, and I all saw them here in the Living Forgotten Realms website. I have the link now. How long is the time span? I have no idea because I'm just about to read these adventures. So we're gonna figure it out together. But if you want to read the adventures before, I suggest we read them together, right? But if you want to read it now, you can get the adventures that link that I sent you in chat. And then it's not just Moonshae Isles, like other regions in the Forgotten Realms, they also have adventures for it. So it's pretty cool. It's awesome. But we're gonna focus on the Moonshae Isles only. And let me pull up. Speaking of, let me pull up our adventure. Here we go. Nature's Rat by Michael Mockus. And we talked about this yesterday before my internet connection went wonky. So I hope you're all ready. We can go ahead and start with this. What we're going to do is we're going to read through the adventure, and then we're going to extract some lore, things that might fascinate us, things that me as the storyline coordinator might be able to use in future storylines, right? So you might see a character here, and you know what? After a year or two, you play the latest Moonshae Isles adventure from Baldman Games, and voila, you see this character, right? So the origins, like how, like the process of me thinking of how to incorporate those characters, it starts here. So there. So let's start. And holy crap, do I have 10 viewers? I'm seeing 10 viewers right now. So wow. Again, you are free to just put me in the background. If you're in the Philippines like me, you're ready to go to sleep, just put me in the background. Let me be like your ASMR voice so you can sleep properly. If you're on your way to work, you're in the US or the other side of the world, then just feel free to listen, ignore me. But if you're a research buff, D&D research buff like me, who wants to learn as much as possible about certain things, and we're specifically the Moonshae Isles, then yes, this is gonna be fun for us. This is gonna be so much fun. So yes, hello, Fallen Base Streams. Hello. Boss Paul, am I a boss? I might I might create a adventure with a like the big bad boss named Paul, just because, you know, to do that. Yeah, working on art alongside this. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. So, yeah, I've told you everything that happened today, everything I've learned. I'm probably missing one or two, but let's go ahead and start with this. Um, I've read some of this yesterday, but we're gonna start again because again, yesterday my internet went wonky, and hopefully it doesn't happen today. So, what happens here in Nature's Wrath? Fate in Shantea runs strong amongst the folk, and the village of Worldsbury is no exception. The village has fallen from favor, and now the beasts of field and sea bring their wrath against the village. You must return the village to her good graces, or it will not survive the coming winter. A living Forgotten Realms adventure set in the Moonshae Isles for characters level 1 to 4. So, this is a newbie friendly adventure. As you can see, players with characters level 1 to 4 can play it. And here you can see that they're talking about Shantea in relation to like the folk who are like the locals here in the Moonshae Isles. And it kept on changing because the Earth Mother is the one that is being worshipped by the folk. So that is default. Ever since the humans arrive here in the Moonshae Isles, they start worshipping in the earth and basically got this figure called the Earth Mother. And then the lore kind of shifts and changes depending on the edition, where she's either an aspect of Shantea, the Earth Mother. I think here that's the canon at the moment, right? Fourth edition. But in other edition and here in fifth edition, she's like a primal spirit. She's a deity, but she's different from Shantea. She's kind of like she's a very strong primal spirit. And let's see how it works. So, which one is true? Nobody knows, unless the Earth Mother itself comes to the stream, joins our chat, and tell us, hey, I'm a primal spirit or I'm Shantea. We're really not gonna know. But that's why hopefully we can get more clues as we read through these adventures. Okay. So RPGA sanctioned play. So a role-playing game association sanctioned play. So it's like for Wizards of the Coast. Again, I mentioned yesterday, like the format of the adventures here for organized play adventures in 4th edition is very similar to what we have now in Adventures League. So you have like DM information, you are empowered to make adjustments. These same advice are there, a bit modified, but technically the same thing is there. Mindful of pacing, and then what else do we have here? Yeah, we can thank 4E for helping Adventures League. I wonder if there's an organized play system for 3rd edition, right? Just imagine, back in the day, there's actually an organized play where you could go to a game store and play adventures like these. I don't know. If you know that, if you know information about it, let us know in chat. And maybe they have Moonshae Isles Adventures also. It was called Your Local Game Store. That's it. That's the organized play. Anyway, what else do we have here? Appropriate character level. So you can only use level 1 to 4 characters, basically what they're saying here. What's interesting here is in organized play for 4E, if a character dies, you can pay the component cost for the ritual of Raise Dead, which is kind of different per tier or like level tier. So like 500 gold for heroic tier, 5,000 gold pieces for Paragon, and then 50,000 for Epic. I think like you can go beyond level 20 in 4th edition. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. Again, I'm a 5E baby, so I'm not sure, but I've seen some some source book where there's like beyond level 20 abilities and stuff, traits. So yeah, I'm not familiar with these tiers. I'm assuming it's like level 1 to 10 and then 11 to 15 or 16, but yeah, or probably 20 if like epic tier is like beyond level 20. Yeah. Anyway, so you can pay as much, and then if you're using it outside the group to cast the ritual, it costs 20% more. So if you're in the epic tier, 50,000 becomes 60,000 gold pieces. That's a lot of gold. Yeah. But I'm assuming that if you're in that level, you've accumulated a lot of gold. You've been through a lot of adventures already. You've looted a lot of dungeons already. If you cannot pay, then there is a debt charity clause. Meaning, what does it mean? Let's read it. You forfeit for basically you let go all the rewards. You don't get any of the rewards. And you only get the experience points, so you don't get any gold, no magic item, but you get revive after the adventure. So that's what you get. And then they use milestone system. They reach a milestone. If it's a second encounter, it enhances the adventure. Okay. So they have that too. Okay. Hello, Polar Code. Rituals were either super expensive or not worth casting in 4E. It felt like a huge afterthought in that edition. Really? Wow. Good to know. So is gold like hard to come by in 4th edition? Like you go on a level 15 adventure and you only get like 500 gold or less as a reward. Is that how it works? So not, because there's a lot of AD&D adventures and they give a lot of gold. So we'll see. Anyway, here it is. We can start here. Adventure background. What happens in Nature's Wrath in this adventure? So in the village of Walsbury, I hope I am pronouncing that right. If I'm not, you know the correct pronunciation to it, let me know. Help me out. There are some words here that I do not know how to pronounce, especially if they're influenced by like real life culture. So if you know it, let me know. I don't want to butcher it, but also I don't want to not say it because I want to learn from there. Warisbury. That is hard. All right. Anyway, let's try to find it. I found this yesterday where it's located. So it is right here in the continent of Alaron. So if you're looking right now, we have the map open. And I'm trying to find my cursor. I can't find my cursor. Oops. There you go. Right there. So we are in Warisbury is in Alaron. As you can see. Let me pull up. Yep, in the island of Alaron, which is the same place where Caer Caladir is at. The seat of power for the High King. That's where they're located. So House Kendrick is right there. So just on the other side. So Warisbury is another coastal town. And we have that here. And I'm gonna remove that. So here, they're saying that Warisbury has always had a patron. The unicorn, Guinera. And she frequents the outskirts and surrounding hillocks. It is considered a good omen to glimpse her as her first rays of dawn crest the hills or as they fade for the day. And none may boast more than to have caught a glance from afar. Even such nominal contact is considered a great omen of good fortune. She is a reassuring watcher over the village. Wow. Okay, so we have a unicorn that just kind of roams around the village, like on the outskirts of the village. And if you see her, well, it's going to be a good day. If I see a unicorn, I know it's going to be a great day. Okay. So I feel what the folks are feeling here. So some months ago, a traveling bard came to town and was well received by the locals. He was put in several homes. One night, he told a tale of how he met Guinera and rode her through the evening air. The populace was aghast at the boldness of this visitor. He received no further requests for tales but was otherwise treated well. Then things started to go very poorly in the town, and his rash behavior was blamed. The villagers believe he has desecrated the sacred beast, and that they are being punished by Shontea and other gods for his arrogance. He has been jailed, awaiting the arrival of a druid to pass judgment on him and restore the town to Shantaea's good graces. Though the community would never be characterized as rich, they have always had more than enough to meet their communal needs. Now, food stores are shrinking, the populace is fearful, and if something is not done, many will die during the harsh winter. Fishing boats are all but ineffectual. Either their nets come back empty or they have lost to the ocean. The populace fears the whales sent by Umberlee are punishing them as well. Okay. So we have Umberlee affecting the livelihood of the folk as well. The farmers have stopped tending to their fields, and weeds choke and kill the crops, and that should soon be harvested. They fear that Shantea punishes them, as several farmers have been viciously killed in the fields or dragged never to be seen again. The villagers fear the goddess has set wolves against them. Now, a full moon later, no druid has shown, and the villagers fear Sylvanus too has abandoned them. The town looks for the player characters, for whatever help they may be able to provide. All right, there's a lot here. Again, you have to remember that the Moonshae Isles is far from the quote-unquote mainland, from the Sword Coast, the continent of Faerun, where all the adventures in 5th edition are happening right now. It's all on the Sword Coast for some reason. So, Sword Coast. Wait, there's a car passing by. I don't know if you heard that. Anyway, Sword Coast. So if you're familiar with the geography of Forgotten Realms, Faerun, you have the Sword Coast, which is in the west side, and then the Sea of Swords, basically, and then you get to the Trackless Sea, and then you continue traveling west, and then you get these group of islands, this archipelago, and that's where you had the Moonshae. So they're not really updated, or not as open as like Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate. When things happen here, they automatically assume that it's caused by the gods, and since gods are active in the Forgotten Realms, maybe that is true, right? And here they're talking about Shantae, or probably the Earth Mother. And I can see why they would blame the bard, because, dude, so just imagine you have, I don't know, Eminem or 50 Cent, goes to the Philippines, goes to like a religious area in the Philippines, and like you have like in one of our locations here, there's like a sacred religious totem or area, and all of a sudden, this bard or whoever, or like performer just goes there. There's like, we have like if you go to like a country that let's say wants to protect tigers or other animals, and then or elephants or cows, and then all of a sudden you see 50 Cent just go here and then just rides a cow, which is like a religious, for them it's part of their religion, and then holy crap, right? What are you doing? Get the and then all of a sudden, the day after or a week after, bad weather happens. Can't no fish are getting caught, and then you can't farm anymore. Dude, it's all. You could easily I could easily understand. Is it right? No, but uh, I can understand like their way of thinking. It kind of makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense, but I could see their thought process of why they would blame the bard. Yeah. Hey, Corn Tritfoot. Welcome, welcome. So there. So now they're asking adventurers, hey, we're a lot of things are happening here in our village. Can you help us? So let's see. Human races. The Moonshae Isles are home to two distinct cultures: the folk and the Northlanders. We kind of talked about this in previous stream. The folk embrace the druidic faith and the wild, untouched reaches of the islands. The Northlanders embrace a more warlike creed, like the violent, unrelenting sea. Both cultures are fiercely independent and reject the influence of mainlanders from Faerun, from the continent of Faerun. The island of Alaron is perhaps one of the most mixed folk Northlander of all the Moonshaes. However, most people still refer to themselves as folk or Northlander. Excuse me. So many foreigners, especially Amnites, refer to folk as any human from Alaron. Typical foreigner attitude, right? So, yeah, you know what? You're called this and that. Let me just generalize it and just call you one thing, which is the folk. And that's why a lot of people from the Vuches don't like the Omnians. True. So let's continue here. Players introduction. So they don't have box text. They have bold, italic, setting for like things that I guess the DM is supposed to read out loud. And this is what happened. So the boat took many long days to reach your destination, the Moonshae Isles. Temperatures dropped, the rain became more frequent, and morning fog took longer and longer to dissipate. Land ho! Called the lookout in the crow's nest. The islands beyond appear slowly through the gray mist. In the distance, tall mountains towered over the clouds, and the lush greens of the trees revealed themselves. A day or so later, the ship docked in the small village of Walsbury, on the island of Alaron. Walsbury is a small village nestled among the mountains, the Sea of Moonshaes, verdant fields, and deep woods. The village is a common meeting place for adventurers. Wow, okay. So this is kind of a hub for adventurers too. The local population is made up of two human cultures: the nature-oriented folk and the sea-loving Northlanders. While Walsbury is mostly of folk stock, the Northlander stock is also well represented. Most of the inhabitants are human. Today, like most others, mist covers the Sea of Moonshae as a light rain falls. The once dry Toad Inn is one of the best places in town to avoid the rain that falls almost constantly on the village, and to get a warm meal. Where I lost it. And some refreshing ale. Locals, travelers, and foreigners all use this well-known establishment. Okay, where is my notepad? So we have an NPC. We have the unicorn, right? And then in terms of places, we have an inn called Once Dry Toad Inn. I love it. So we have that. Makes it easier to print out sans color. Yeah. So many people, mostly locals, pack the common rooms. The place is eerily calm as patrons look in their pints, and conversations are kept to a minimum. Now is an appropriate time for the players to introduce themselves to one another. Okay, so we have that introduction happening. So for the DMs, all right, I'm liking the format of the adventure so far. So you have one for players, and then you have one for the DM, and then you have an adventure background. So for the DM introduction, the village of Walsbury is suffering from fear and ignorance. Oh no. Several mundane problems coincide, and lacking an explanation, the people have blamed the divine. Yep, just what we're talking a while ago. The truth of the matter is the bard they have imprisoned has nothing to do with their problems, nor have they angered any of the gods. So this bard riding a unicorn that is like kind of the village patron might be might be a dumb thing to do, because look what happened to that person, but that's not the cause of the village's problem. Several of their fishing boats have lost to the storms. Fishing yields have declined due to ammonite pirate vessels that has been dumping poisons into the shoals, killing the fish. So how do you call the omnion? So is it you can also say ammonite? Okay. That's new to me. This is the first time I'm encountering this term. But good to know. Good to know. The attacks they are suffering in the fields by wolves are not natural occurrences, but attacks orchestrated by a group of local goblins. The failure for the regional druid to appear is also the fault of the goblins. They accosted him as he approached the town and are holding him prisoner. The disappearance of their patron unicorn is entirely coincidental as well. She roams farther from the village in search for a mate. The unicorn just wants to find a mate. And bad things start to happen. And the druid is aware of this information and share it if he is rescued. If the druid is rescued, he's gonna go to the folk, and the Northlanders go, yo, chill. It's just the unicorn is gone because the unicorn is trying to find a mate. That's it. Yeah. Omnite? Yeah. Did I say it differently? But yeah, no, I'm saying like how they say they damn it, I'm losing all the words that I want to say. Like how they refer to the omnions, right? You would say omnions, and then here they use omnite, and it's just new to me. Unicorns can mate, why not? Right? It's just a horse with a horn. Will the horn get in the way of them mating? I'm trying to imagine. No, it shouldn't. That's probably not the best thing to imagine. But yeah. Should be able to mate. Like, are unicorns just magically made? I don't know. Like one day, poop, it's a baby unicorn. Horn to horn. All right. I'm gonna move away from that topic, right? Phobomancer, unicorns, thank you for joining the chat. Do not mate for life. Really? I think they only like virgins. I'm gonna step away from this adventure for a second, and then talk about and become a weeb for talk about anime for a second, because I watch Overlord. Have you seen Overlord? So it's like this guy gets transported to a game, and then he has all these like NPCs that kind of follow him. So there's one, I think Albedo, which is a succubus, and then she's supposed to get a mount, a bicorn. But there's like a lore saying that you can't ride a unicorn unless you're a virgin, but then you also cannot ride a bicorn unless the opposite has happened. So, yeah. And there you go. So we, yeah. Yeah. Respecting the purity of the innocent, not about sex. Yep. So, anyway, before it gets weird, our discussion gets weird, we'll go back to the adventure. But yeah. Apparently here, the Moonshae Al unicorns are trying to find a mate. So we have that. We have that here. Succubus. Yeah. Did I say it differently? Anyway, yeah. So the horny horse went out to look for a mate, and then bad things start to happen in the village. Yeah. So let's go. Oh, and then you have this. You have encounter 1 right away. So we're in the village of Walsbury, and we have a setup. What do we have as a setup? We have NPCs. We have NPCs named right away at the start of the encounter. So we have that. And then they have some sites. So this is Brandon McLear. Is it McLear or McLear? Help me out, chat. If you know how to pronounce it, let me know. Is it Brandon McLear or McLear? As I see double R, I'm assuming it's Lear. But I might be wrong. I'm not. Yeah. Not the expert here. So Brendan is a village chieftain. Yeah. And then you have Seamus Duffy, which is the owner of the inn. I'm writing on the wrong area in my notepad. Proprietor of Once Dry-Toed Inn. And then we have Eilern Duffy, which is Seamus' wife. And then Duffy children. Okay, we're not gonna put Duffy children here. Really? Seamus? That's how you say it? I trust my chat, but
Seamus.
Oh yeah, I am hearing. Right? I'm asking. I went to Google and tried to find the pronunciation. Did you hear that? I don't know. Harry Potter. That's why. Yes. I think I watched it, but I'm not. I don't remember all their names. Okay. Yes, my nephew is named this. Okay, good to know. We have that. So we have Seamus, Seamus Duffy, and then Eilern Duffy. Oh man, we're gonna be so bad at names here. So we have those. So the characters, one of those Irish Gaelic pronunciation. You know, that's my problem. So we have like the Welsh. There's a lot of Welsh words here. Like European pronunciation that I just cannot pronounce, even if I want to. Like my tongue will just not cooperate, and some of these names, those instances will happen. So I'm apologizing now. Anyway, the PCs arrive at the local inn called the Dry-Toed Inn, but the locals usually refer to it as the Once Dry-Toed Inn. Okay. And the most notable location in Walsbury. Here, they meet the town chieftain, Brendan McLear, and are enlisted to help in resolving the situation. Continue once the characters enter the inn. Okay. So we have a box, well, not box text, but we have something that we can read to the players. The inn proprietor, dressed in a dirty apron, sees to your needs, and you are served a modest course. As you finish, a man of obvious stature enters and presents himself before your table. Travelers, I'm Brandon McLear, chieftain of Walsbury. Times are not well, and some of us do not have the best disposition towards outsiders. I regret this, as it was not always this way. As chieftain, I must look past the prejudices of my fellow townsfolk and ask if you would be capable and willing to help us. Chieftain can provide any information we talk about. So, might get some stuff here. What are we getting? Shantea / Earth Mother, I'm just assuming, and the other gods have forsaken the village, setting the beasts of the sea in the field against us. Hywell, the fisherman, had his boat destroyed by a rampaging whale, and he tells of barely escaping with his life. The nets of other fishermen are coming back empty. Okay? The farmers have been attacked by wolves and have abandoned their fields as unsafe. Now the fields are choked with weeds, and if not tended soon, the crops will die and the fields yield few crops. These problems cannot be resolved soon. The town will not be able to put away enough food for the winter. Winter is coming to Walsbury. When did this all start? It's been going on for a month. And has started when a wandering bard, I hope he has a name, that bard has a name, defiled our patron, Guinera, the unicorn. He claims to have touched the unicorn. While I am not convinced the defilement is the root cause, the commoners have demanded justice. I have imprisoned him. He is to be judged by one of the traveling druids. A druid should have passed through by now, but with his delay, the commoners grow restless for justice. They fear Sylvanus has told the druid to forsake the village. So, the Earth Mother is, again, people, a lot of the folk worship the Earth Mother. And the druids are kind of like the religious guide for the Earth Mother. Kind of you're like your priests here. So and in the Moonshaes, the druids have some sort of influence with the people of the Moonshaes, of the folk. So there. So what would you have us do? Speak to the fishermen, investigate what happened, inspect the fields, and find out why the wolves are attacking. Find a druid. And last one is, please do what you can as quickly as possible. Each night, I fear the populace will take to mob justice and lynch my captain. This is to encourage the pieces to complete the adventure without taking an extended rest. Okay, that's a mechanic that they want to put there. Taking extended rest during the adventure has the potential of significantly decreasing the challenge of the adventure. All right. So you have that. Ending the encounter. Once they have finished conversing with Brendan, then they have options. So they can go and talk to the fishermen, which is encounter 2. Investigate the wolf attacks, which is encounter 4. Search for the druid, which is encounter 4 as well. And then if they wish to speak with the bard, they may refer to the adventure background as well as encounter 7 for it. Wow, okay, I like that. I like the format. So that's encounter 1. And all that information that's in the first encounter, we kind of learn about it in the adventure background already. So nothing new. Nothing new in that. Encounter 2. Whale of a Tale. What do we have here? The characters can speak with several fishermen. These conversations should reveal some of the facts behind their woes and expose some of their speculation as superstition. This should lead to the characters heading out in a borrowed fishing boat in Encounter 3. If the characters do not go out on a fishing vessel, Encounter 3 can be skipped, simply proceeding with their other investigation. Okay. You return to the dock area where you originally arrived in Walsbury. Several fishermen go about mending their nets or performing other mundane tasks. They give you a sidelong glance because, based on the hook here, you are foreigners. The PCs may speak to the fishermen, although they shouldn't encounter Hywel first unless they are specifically looking for him. So we have Guto, the fisherman. Oh, he has lines. Okay, so if you ask Guto, the fisherman, this is what he's gonna say. I won't go out on the water no more. Not after Hywel's incident. Dang huge fish destroyed his boat and nearly ate him. Fishing has always been reliable, but now that we've angered the gods, it's not even worth our time to go out. If the druid doesn't show up in a couple of days, my opinion is that we hang that bard, then things around here can return to normal. Okay, Guto, thank you for that information. Maddock has something to say. Maddock, what do you have to say? If we ask you some questions. I'll not be risking this fog with no man-eating beasts in the shoals. If you're so brave, you could take my boat out and see how you're fishing. How the fishing is yourself. Hywel used to be the best of the fishermen, but as of late, he's gotten lazy. Now, with the fish eaten up by the sea beast, he has taken on a sour mood and given up entirely. That bard has nothing to do with our problems. The fishing was bad for 3 or 4 days before he even showed up in the village. People tend to forget facts when times get tough. Oof. Too real. That last line is too real. Maddock base, yes. I like it, man. He's willing to let us borrow his boat. And he told us that there's actually a sea beast, like a literal monster that's kind of eating the fish. All right. Saren, you have something to say? If you ask you some questions. We've always lived at peace with the sea creatures. Whatever that bard did to anger the gods, Umberlee's beasts have driven away all our fish. All of the other fishermen are afraid to go out on the water, especially in a fog like this. If you were to show it was safe, I think we might be able to sway them to begin fishing again. Don't believe a word Hywel tells you. We've all told our fish tales, but his are downright fantastical. Well, I want to learn what you have to say, Hywel. Once the characters find them. It says, my boat was destroyed last week. Biggest fish I'd ever seen came right up and rammed my boat, dumping me into the drink. I'm the best fisherman on these waters, but I can't fish much without a boat. Bad luck for the bard fellow. He struck me as a nice guy. I feel bad. With the farming going so bad, I wish I could be out there fishing myself. Not 2 days ago, on a clear day, I saw that whale swimming about looking for other vessels to capsize. So it's a whale. The sea beast that we're talking about is a whale. Okay. And should the characters present on the fact he is hiding something, you do diplomacy or intimidate check. We get more information. I was on the other side of Sharkhead Point in a fishing spot. I like it because it's calm and the others don't go there. Hywel can tell the characters how to get there, a few miles south of Walsbury. Shark Head Point. I think I want to take note of that place. It's a fishing spot. Okay. And then I've honestly seen such a large fish before, but not in years. Those whales are peaceful creatures though, and they never harm us all. I was sleeping off in an evening's revelry out in my boat when something crashed into it. I awoke, splashing in the waves, and had to swim to shore. I wasn't able to tell what it was as the fog was too thick. Not unusual, much like today. And then last one, I took a big gas of that water, and it had to be the nastiest stuff I've ever tasted. I've tasted my share of salt water before, but this had a foul taste like nothing else. Okay, like his story is not that out of out of proportion. It's just saw a whale. That's it, and it hit his boat. And I don't know why Saren is saying that it's like his tales are downright fantastical. Like, I'll believe it, right? Sounds believable. Anyway, this encounter should end with the characters either taking a fishing vessel out to investigate in Encounter 3, pirates in the shows, or with if they go screw it, I don't want to deal with this, they could go to Encounter 4. All right. So we'll go this in like numerical order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's up to 7. We'll see. Encounter 3, Pirates in the Shoals. So this is for level 2. Encounter level 2, 4. It can be 2 or 4. Okay. This encounter takes place if the characters decide, okay, to take the boat and go to Sharkhead Point. So here there are Ammonite pirates. So there's a freebooter, a human mage, a bandit, and human rabble. Okay. As the characters pilot their fishing boat into the fog, they can barely see the end of the boat. In the fog, they come up with an ammonite vessel, pouring barrels of poison into the... Oh no! What are the ammonites doing? They're poisoning the water. Ah, man. The pirates are not happy to be discovered and are immediately aggressive. Okay? Although the fog is thick enough to cut, a much larger vessel appears immediately before you. From its deck, several men dump barrels of a black, noxious substance into the water. Oh no, dude, what are you doing? The vileness of the substance is palpable even from this distance, and it quickly dissolves into the waters, leaving a lingering gray cloud. As you assess the situation, a hook and rope flies out, snags your boat, and drags it against the ship. The crew is ready to dispatch of any witness to their activity. So here in the Philippines, illegal fishing is like, you hear it in the news a lot, even now. So this one is kind of familiar to me. They don't for illegal fishing here, they don't throw like chemicals or stuff. What I remember is like them throwing like explosives, dynamite and stuff, right? But that was a long time ago. I don't know how. I'm sure illegal fishing has changed. So yep, dumping runoff into a river. Yep. So, and now I can understand why the whale is angry. So, features in the area. So, kind of like area information in 5th edition adventure. So, illumination fog, The thick fog heavily obscures the area, providing concealment to adjacent targets. Creatures 5 or more squares away cannot be seen. Unsteady ship. If the characters board the ammonite vessel, the waves begin to chop. At the end of each round, roll. Okay, so we have those effects. We have the both effects. We're not gonna read through that. And tactics. Okay, so basically how the bandits will move. Escape, mob defense. You have that. Okay, and then scaling the encounter. Ending the encounter. Yeah, we're here to extract some lore. Time for some environmental justice. Yeah. We have. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. So our snack for today, is boiled peanuts. So we have that. So while we're doing research, that's what I'll be eating. Maning basa, yeah. Anyway, ending the encounter. So, there's a heal check. So they're kind of like the medicine check, right? Reveals the tar-like substance as poison. If the players take time to question the pirates, they will know the following. And the pirates are ammonites. They have been poisoning the water around Walsbury for the past months. They were paid good coin for it, and they do not care if the villagers starve come winter. Of course, why would they care? They're pirates. Other ships have been supplying the enemies of the Isles with weapons to harass the folk. They are not sure who these allies are. Other ships have been supplying the enemies of the Isles with weapons to harass the folk. Alright, someone's been giving them weapons. Okay. So once they're done dealing with the pirates, they can return to Walsbury and investigate other issues. We can go to encounter 4. They get experience points. Do they get treasure? What do they get? Amulet of Protection +2. So do they get like +2 to AC? Is that what the Amulet of Protection does? And then you have like the stats for the pirates, which is really cool. And then more stats. Oh, we have maps. So that's why they were saying like squares and stuff. So we have those. This is where the PCs will start, the characters will start, and this is where the enemies are at. Oh, noted. I like the format. Like every encounter, like you don't have to go back and forth like at the beginning or and then at the end of the adventure. Because here you know that it's all in that encounter, all the maps, stats, information, it's all in that like contained, siloed in that encounter. I like it. Encounter 4, Wolves in the Grass. Okay, what do we have here? So it takes place when they check the wolf attacks. Like the farmers unable to get the crops because they don't feel safe. Okay. Yeah. I like I did this in paint or something style combat map. You know what? At the beginning of Adventures League, like the maps were just made from like PowerPoint slides, just make the circles and squares, or yeah, and paint, MS Paint. But ever since the pandemic started, and then there's more online play, people started asking for like, hey, give us, better maps in your adventures, and those who produce adventures have to come up with ways to create better maps. And yeah, Either you hire a map maker or you start to learn some tools online that you can use to make maps for your D&D adventure. There. Anyway, so after dealing with the pirates, you go and investigate with the farmers what's going on, right? And I think this is going to be another combat encounter. There's going to be goblin black blades. Aren't those? Isn't that what you call the Zentarims? Zentarim faction, right? Black blade. Or is that a common term for like evil dudes? But yeah, you have goblin black blades, and then there are 2 gray wolves. What do we have? So we read this to the players. The village is surrounded by field full of weed-choked crops. A rocky road lines the field with an abandoned wagon off the side. It is obvious that if the fields are not tended soon, the weeds will kill most of the edible plants. Okay. Center, maybe their sword actually just dirty. We'll see. So any characters passing a perception check can act in the surprise round. So there's a surprise round. There are goblins behind the hill, and then you have the wolves. I'm guessing we have a map at the end of this encounter also. And then you read, the sound of a low growl draws your attention to a pair of eyes hiding in the weeds just before the beast lunges towards it. Dude, how tall are the weeds? Are these like 4 feet, 5 feet tall weeds that kind of just grew out of the farm area? If it can hide like a wolf and surprise the adventurers, that's some tall weeds. Okay. Well, let's see. It might be here. Illumination. It's daytime. Okay. Or if it's nighttime, there's moonlight. There's a hill, lower left side of the map. Small rise providing cover for those behind to hide. It's a rocky ground. There are trees standing square. 3 provides cover. And then there's a wagon. And there's no mention of the weeds. Okay. Tactics. So we have the goblins attacking. Surprise. Scaling the encounter. Ending the encounter. One of the PC characters have dispatched the wolves and goblins. They can go to encounter 5. No treasure. They gain some experience points. I thought it's milestone. It's probably different. Or it's both. Okay. Anyway. These are the stats. Grey Wolf, Black Blade. What do you have for weapons? Short Sword. +5 to hit versus AC. Combat advantage. The Goblin Black Blade deals 1d6 damage against any target it has combat advantage against. Alright. Goblin Tactics. The Goblin shifts 1 square. Oh, I like that. And then when shifting, a Goblin Black Blade can move into the space occupied by an ally. Okay. Grey Wolf, Black Blade. Oh, this is our map. I wonder what they use for this. So we have the wagon, the rocky road that's abruptly end here, and then you have the wolves there. Okay, and then the trees. Okay, you have those. Got it. Encounter 5. All right. Search. Is this another combat encounter? Oh no, it's a skill challenge. Okay, complexity 1. Oh, so this is good. So you can still level up with like a skill challenge. In 5th edition, the DM just kind of decides if they want to give you experience or not if you survive a non-combat encounter. In Adventures League at the beginning, most of the time, like in previous, like early seasons, you only get experience through combat encounters. Here, There's like skill challenge. Okay, I like that. I'm assuming this is like the normal rules for 4th edition. If not, and you know it, let me know. Arcana, athletics, engineering, heal, nature, perception. Okay. So they now have, the characters have now the opportunity to search for some clues. Leads to the Goblin Cave. It appears that more than just the wolves have been active in the attacks on the farmers. Goblins are involved in the attacks. Perhaps they have left some clues as to where they are. Characters can make perception checks and to reveal some information. And if but they receive no experience for this encounter if they fail the perception check. The wolves have beaten a trail through the brush leading to the north. Characters investigate for other clues. They find each clue. They must succeed another perception check. I think it's a series of checks, perception checks that they have to make. Provide examples. Okay. Failure. Okay, we're not interested in those. We want to know what happened. Not interested in the mechanics. Alright, so if you do Arcana, you find a small bit of some arcane hex charm. Okay. About a goblin hexer's powers. Okay. Lifting a wagon wheel, you discover a pouch containing what's this? Accoutrements that may belong to a druid. It's a new word for me. New word. Oh, that's a big word.
Accoutrements.
Accoutrements. Okay. Accoutrements. There we go. Containing accoutrements that may belong to a druid. I should look what it means. All right. Okay. There's no meaning. Additional items of dress or equipment. Okay. So just stuff. Literally just stuff. Dungeoneering. Gravel and mud from a cavernous source are noticeable along the path. Some of this gravel is covered with bat guano. Okay. Okay. It's basically things that complement an outfit. Okay. Noted. I have a short-term memory. I appreciate, or at least that's what I try to tell myself, and my wife hates that when I say it. But I try to take note of all the things that I need to say properly, and the meaning of words and stuff. But there's a big chance I will forget it. So I'm sorry. I'm setting the expectation now. Yeah. That's why I love playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I tell my friends about this because I run an adventure and then we all have fun. And then a few months later, we play the same adventure, either as me as a DM or a player. And then I remember zero things about that information, that adventure. And then I get to enjoy it again. So, but this is a good way for me to practice remembering all these things. And also I want to make simple, like when I write adventures, simple words are like the best, right, to use. But sometimes you also want to flavor it with the right words, especially if there's a word count limit and you can't use like 5 words to describe something, and then there's that one word equivalent of it. It's good to know what those are. Anyway, going back. Gravel and mud, dungeoneering. From a cavernous source are noticeable alongside the path. We read that. You notice with a heal or medicine check, you notice drag marks and blood spots. There was a fight here maybe a week ago. The amount of blood would indicate the creature was dragged off alive. This is probably the druid. Oh yeah, it is the druid. Okay. Nature check. though most of the prints in the area appear to be from a goblin or wolf, there are sets of larger prints in the area. The prints are likely from a bugbear. Oh, we got a bugbear. A larger type of goblinoid. I love bugbears. And then ending the encounter, they go to a cave. Do they find any treasure? This pouch with 30 or 50 gold. And that's it. We're already in encounter 6. I love bugbears. Why? I do. They're fun. You know why I love them? Because I have bugbear miniatures. So every time I can use them in a game of Dungeons and Dragons, I'm all for it. So I don't want. There are times where you have monsters and you don't have the miniature for it, so you can just pretend that this bugbear is, an elf guard or something. And yeah, it's nice, but it's awesome if your miniature actually resembles like the monster that the characters are fighting. So yeah, I have tons of bugbear minis. So anyway, going back, encounter 6, unwelcome entrance. This is optional. It's an optional encounter. Shadow Hunter Bats. That sounds badass. That sounds like a familiar that you want to have, or if it's like a large bat, like a cool mount that you can have, flying mount, right? Let's see later the stats for a Shadow Hunter Bat. It's an optional encounter. If the characters miss the combat in encounter 2, the pirates, or if there's more time, we can run this. And then we read the following. A muddy cave leads into the ground. The sunlight is snuffed out by darkness as the mud gives way to a stone floor. And the tunnel expands around you into a larger area. Across the cavernous space on the far wall is a passage continuing deeper into the cave system. So the ceiling here is 20 feet high. There's no natural light. There's rubble here that can use as, or it counts as difficult terrain. There's tactics because we have maps. The bats can take advantage of their flyby attack. Noted. And then after ending the encounter, they go to encounter 7. Okay, that's it. That's basically it. Do they get treasure? No, they get experience points only. Here we go. How big are these bats? They're medium shadow beast. Medium size. Let's go back a little bit. I want to know how big are the pirates. Pirates are humanoids, right? So let's try to see if they're also medium size. Omnite Freebooter is also medium size. So it's a big bat. It's a bat the size of a human. Am I right? Am I reading it right? Shadow Hunter Bat is a medium shadow beast. So that is a big ass bat. That is, if it's medium size, so as big as me. Initiative +9 on the initiative. I know we're not supposed to be like taking a long time on this, but I'm just curious. They have a flyby attack. Shadow Hunter Bat flies up to 8 squares and makes 1 melee basic attack. Okay. And it doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when they do that. They can fly away after. They have speed 2, clumsy, but they have fly 8. All right. AC 17. Oh. There's like a... I'm just realizing something. Bloodied at 19. So its HP is 38. And then you say it becomes bloodied when its HP goes 19 or below. Because when I play D&D, I often describe players will ask how does this monster look like now, and then I say it's bloodied. I'm just assuming that it's like damage. Since its damage is bloodied already, right? Or wounded, or and then I say it's barely alive if it has like less than 10% hit points. And apparently, like, bloodied counts to like certain percentage. So what's that? Half. So if you're halfway there, right? 19 plus 19 is 38. Yeah. So if the characters that like half of damage equal to like half of the monster's hit points, you say, yeah, this monster's bloodied. Oh, I didn't even know that. So dumb. Like, those who were playing at my table that played like previous editions of D&D, they were probably thinking, all right, this monster only has half hit points left, and then why are they not dying? Because the DM said they're bloodied, but no, they're not. I mean, they're still alive. I'm so sorry. Now I know. Now we learn. You see, it's a good thing we're reading these adventures. All right. Encounter 6, high level, and then we have the map of the cave where the path is at. Okay. That's a lot of combat. So it just go from like in Warlsbury, there's a lot of interaction in the inn, and then once you go out, it's like combat. Oh no. There's like you talk to the fisherman, and then combat. Wow. It's kind of nice in this format that the maps and stat blocks are right next to the encounter instead of an appendix. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially if you have this printed out, and then you're reading the encounter on like page 7, and then you have to go to like page 35, 36, flip through it, and then find the information that you need, like monster stats, etc. And then you have to go back and try to figure out where page 7 is again, because of course you lost it. And then you switch back and forth. Here, it's all together, so you're only gonna flip like 1 or 2 pages, which is nice. Yeah. It's not even for lazy DM. It's like it's like a quality of life improvement, right? For dungeon masters. It's a good format. I like it. Encounter 7. We have another combat encounter. Bugbears, Goblin Hexer, Goblin Sharpshooters, Goblin Cutters. That's a lot. Deeper in the complex, the natural fogs of the region have settled in, making it hard to discern the extent of this chamber. Torches are scattered across the cavern here and there, still sputtering and offering only scant amounts of light. Alright, so dim light, there's fog, there's a pit that deals damage. To make athletics check to climb out. There are pillars, there's ledge. Tactics, okay, we're not gonna read through that. Scaling the encounter, we're not gonna read through that. So you fight these goblins with a bugbear, and then ending the encounter. After you fight these goblinoids, what happens? Once the characters have dispatched the goblins, they are free to navigate the pit and revive the druid. The druid is dead. Okay. And then relate the following information. I am Svenskild, the druid. I think that is important. I like to take note of the druid names. Alright. Moonshae druid. Svenskild. Okay. Svenskild. You can revive from unconsciousness. Oh, okay. I'm just used to like revivify. When somebody says revive, they're dead. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the druid's probably just unconscious and, you know, trying to wake them up. Noted. Okay. I was traveling overland to Walsbury about a week ago when I was overtaken by the goblins. They brought me here and I expected to be eaten, but luckily you showed up before they got too hungry. About 2 days ago, I thought I was rescued as I heard human voices. I couldn't make out what was said, but it turns out they must be working with the goblins because they left after a short visit. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Someone is working with the goblins. And then after that, you have experience points. Oh, sorry, there's more. The druid only brings up the unicorn if asked. I know Gwenera. I would consider her a friend. It is highly unlikely that the bard ever rode her. Yeah, of course. It was a made-up tale. Poor decisions made by the bard. And now he's in jail. And if nothing happens, he's about to get hanged too. Gwenera has not abandoned the village. It is simply her time, and she has left in search of a mate. As those of her kind are not common. She will likely return in the spring. Okay. Again, experience point. And high level, you get gauntlets of ogre power. Alright, modified strength. And then boots of spider climbing. I don't know. Why? That one doesn't seem thematic, like the spider climbing item. Just randomly here. In return for freeing him, the druid gives you a suit of dark leaf armor. +1. Oh, that sounds nice. The clan chief offers the characters a resounding weapon +1 and a +1 rod of dark reward. There's a lot of items here. And in conclusion, allow the characters to return to town, bring their information before the chieftain. Chieftain Brendan McLear is grateful for your bringing your bringing the truths of the situation to light. He immediately orders that Athos, the bard, be freed. We have a name. Boy that rode the unicorn, quote unquote. Gwenera. I have Athos there. Okay, Athos, you're still alive. Where are we? That evening, he gathers all the people in the village. You are recognized for your achievement, and the myths the villages have been operating on are dispelled. In the Dried Toad Inn, Athos Kallio, he has a last name, Kallio sings a song to your praise. The following day, the simple folks seem excited to be able to return to their labors. Life begins to return normal in Walsbury. Good job, adventurers. And the characters are welcome to converse with Athos. Some relevant details are listed below. Feel free to add extra details if needed. Athos is a bard male human, early 20s. He's been traveling the world plying his trade. He arrived in Walsbury and work went well. He heard tales of the unicorn, Gwenera, and thought it would make a good tale. He has never met the unicorn. Dude, just had a bad day. And he's grateful with the character's help. And then we have stats. We have maps. And then reward summary. We have the treasures. Each character selects one of the following. Bundle A. Alright. One of the following. Oh, so they can only get one? Select one of the following. Bundle A. Oh, you can get more than one. Boo. Potion plus gold. Doesn't want to select one of the bundles. They can choose to add a potion of healing plus 25 gold pieces to their total gold. Alright. Player doesn't want to select one of the bundles. They can choose. Okay. Story awards. Look, there's story awards too. What do we have? Awardees of the PC completes the conditions for the adventure. All right. So, favor of the McClears. So, it's a group award. You have performed a service for the chieftain of Walsbury, Brendan McClear. His villagers saved the farmers and fishers, returning to their daily routines. The village can build up their food stores and now have hopes to survive harsh winter. MOON1-2. There are codes for the story award. Okay, that's new. Favor of Atos Kallio. You have exonerated the falsely accused bard. He does not forget your generosity and sings tales of your deeds. So that's good. There are questions here. Let me move the PDF because I can't adjust it anymore. There you go. Did the characters question the Ammonite pirates? Yes. Alright. There are questions here. Did they rescue the druid? Yes. So I guess those are just checklists. On the tracking form. Okay. And that's it. If you do happen to use the bard in the future, you could put a throwback with that song he sings about his rescue. Yeah, about Guineria, who's just out to find a mate. And we'll be back in spring. So that's it. Zoom out. That is Nature's Wrath. That was... We can sleep early, but... I want to read another adventure since we finish early. Is that bad? You know what? You guys could sleep. You guys could sleep. I'll let you guys sleep. Appreciate you being here. It's only been an hour and a half. Early. We could do one more, right? So... yeah, I want to read all these adventures. Again, I'm excited. I want to learn more as much as possible. But those who are in the Philippines, it's 12:30 in the morning. If you want to sleep, you can go sleep. You know what? I'll let that happen. I appreciate the support being here. But yeah, that's one adventure done. That's Nature's Wrath. So they're saying that there's a problem in Walsbury. So the fishes, they're not catching any fish. So that one has been solved because there are pirates, Ammonite pirates, and they're kind of poisoning the waters. And that's why one of the fishermen's boat got attacked. And then you have like the farmlands are like weeds are growing on it, being choked by weeds because the farmers are not tending to them anymore. Because it's dangerous, there are wolves. And the reason for the wolves being there is because of the goblins. All right. And then the unicorn went missing, and it's because she's just trying to find a mate. And then the druid knows that, and he's supposed to tell all the villagers about it, but he got captured by the goblins. And all these happened when that bard arrived. And it's just all purely coincidental. That is one unlucky bard. That bard, Athos, should have a story award. It's just bad luck. Like, all those things happened, then he arrived, and then he just decided, you know what? I'll make up a tale about me riding like the local unicorn here, and I'm sure people would love it. And nope, they blame him for everything. So yeah, all right. So you know what? That's one adventure down. I want to read one more. I think we can read one more. Those who want to go to sleep, you can go to sleep. I'll take a little break. It's probably like a 3-5 minute break. And then I only want to take a break because I want to show I want to show my Be Right Back screen. That's it. I don't know. I just want to check if it works or not. So I'm going to take a 5-minute break. And then we'll see you soon. Okay. Bye. There we go. Not muted anymore. We're back. We're back. Image is tight. Yeah, I like that. I like that image too. And yes, we have the right to use it. But in the future, I hope we can have what do you call this? Like animated background. Just for when we're about to start or we're on break. Something animated. Probably, yeah, like a 2D kind of thing. Probably like a bard chasing a unicorn, trying to ride it. Yeah. That's going to be one of our stream projects. We'll have that. Anyway. Second adventure in the Living Forgotten Realms campaign for 4th edition under the Moonshae Isles. This is the Sea Drake, written by Jean-Philipe or JP Chapleau. I googled the pronunciation of the last name, so that's what it says in Google. I'm hoping that's correct. If it's not, and JP, if you're watching, I'm sorry, and let us know. Or let me know. Reviewed by Leonard Logan and Sean Merwin, which is I am also a fan of. Then all the playtesters are here. Teus Abadía is here as a playtester. Wow. Who else is here? Do I know anybody else here? Chris Lynn. Nah, that's it. Okay. What do they have here? What happens? It's a different format. The font is smaller. Valiant seafarers travel between the Moonshae Isles, bringing supplies and information to the many people. You have been hired as guard aboard the Sea Drake. It's gonna be a sea adventure. And of course, the title is the Sea Drake. Whether it's rainy and the fog is thick, it's the perfect time to sail the seas of the Moonshaes. It's a Living Forgotten Realms adventure set in the Moonshae Isles for characters level 4 to 7. So this is like a low end of tier 2 in 5th edition Adventurers League. So tier 2 is level 5 to 10. So here we have level 4 to 7, like high tier 1, and then in between tier 1 and tier 2, basically. Okay, we have that. And it's part of RGPA, RPGA. We've read about these things. Character levels. What we need is the adventure background. Let me zoom a little bit, make it bigger so you guys can see it too. If I go 125, you can see it, but I have to adjust. So make it. Can I make it 110? I wanna make it so I don't have to adjust left and right. There we go. Just right. 110 is the right zoom. Just letting you guys know in case I forget. Adventure background. These are long backgrounds. In Adventures League, usually the backgrounds information is just like 4 or 5 sentences or like 2 paragraphs. That's it. This one is a bit long. Okay, let's read through it. Actually, before we read through it, we didn't get much from MOON1-1, but we got a cool story. That's it. We have that bard basically just told a tale that is not true. He just made it up. He thought it would be a hit. And then a lot of bad things happened in that village. And then they all blamed him. That's it. So, and that bard is still alive. Hopefully, he's not as unlucky as he was when he was in Walsbury. All right. So going here, adventure MOON1-2, the Sea Drake. So background, the sea is the lifeblood of the Moonshae Isles. The characters are hired as guards on the Sea Drake, a Northlander raiding ship converted to a merchant vessel. Oh, I was like happy. Yes, I got Vikings, and then it became a merchant ship. Oh, the ship's planned route takes it from Walsbury on the Isle of Alaron to Gwynedd. We're moving to another island. All right, oh, I'm excited to show you the map. All right, to Gwynedd, through the Strait of Oman, to Moray, and finally to Norland. Oh, we're going to different islands. This is gonna be amazing. And each island has its own dangers noted below. The characters travel with David McLear. Oh, I think we know that name from previous adventure. Oh, we have a McLear, but okay. See, like the sun or NPCs. We have David McLear. Who are you? A devotee of Tempest and son of Brendan, son of the chieftain. Okay. Devotee of Tempest and son of Brendan. Got it. Brendan. I might forget, so I'm gonna put it. The village chief. Chieftain of Walsbury. Village chief. Yeah. All right. So we have that. Where are we? Got lost. And the McLears were featured prominently in MOON1-1, Nature's Red, and they're scheduled to appear in future regional adventures as well. Okay, that's good to know. The first place we're going to go is Gwynedd, the Isle of Gwynedd. This area is occupied by the Fae. So I just learned, again, through Google. That's my new teacher. So use the word isle is just what you would call an island. Like, that's the term, like an old term to call an island. So now you call an island. But before that, the old term for an island is isle. That's it. That's the only difference. That's it. No size thing involved, or like what's on the island versus isle. Nope. It's just an old term for an island is isle. So. And okay, so Gwynedd, the Isle of Gwynedd. This area is occupied by the Fae and is forbidden to non-Fae. That is true until not 100% true. It's still occupied by the Fae, but now there is not to be confused with the Isle with the A, which is at the supermarket. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, so Gwynedd is occupied by the Fae, by the kingdom of Seraphil. But now, from what I know, there is a pact, or not a pact, but there's an agreement that the folk is now allowed to live and stay in the Isle of Gwynedd, as long as they swear allegiance to the ruler of the kingdom of Seraphil, not to the High King. So imagine that. So imagine that you and your ancestors live in the Moonshae Isle for the longest time, and you're used to having the king, the High King, as, you know, the sovereign ruler of your land, of your country. And then all of a sudden, hey, we've now conquered the Isle of Gwynedd, us Faes, and you can stay here, Before, no, nobody can stay here. But now we're gonna allow you to stay here. But you have to swear allegiance to the ruler of the Fey Kingdom of Seraphil. So, will the folk be loyal to the elves? Not elves, but to the Fey, even though they swore allegiance to them. I don't know. But can be used. So there's a lot of political things and conflicts happening here, which is nice, you know. And that's what we're trying to do in Malefic Delusions, the new storyline that me and Savannah are making. So we're trying not to focus on this god decided to do something, and now we need adventures to. So yeah, are elves Fey? Yes, elves are Fey. So are all of them Fey? That's where they started, right? Am I reading my remembering it wrong? They started with the elven deity. They were made there, and then it kind of splintered to different sections, right? Some stayed. You had the astral elves. There are the Feywild. There are Eladrins. So here in the Kingdom of Seraphil, which is in Gwyneth, you have the Lachey. The Lacheys is basically Eladrins. So elves that can change depending on this like their mood, and they change into different seasons. So you have like winter Eladrin, you have like summer Eladrin, and then there's also another group of elves, the Lewir, that lives in the Isle of Gwyneth. And actually, you know what? Let's check. Well, let's read through this and then let's check the map. Okay. So Gwyneth. The area is occupied by Fey and forbidden to non-Fey. However, some local Fey are interested in trading goods and obtaining supplies from the outside world. So you don't want other people to go to your place, but you want to get their stuff. Okay. One such Fey is looking to make a deal with the other races. Moray. Though human settlements still exist on the coast, Malarites, and so followers of Malar, and their humanoid servants control most of the interior. The civilized settlements are under constant threat from the Malarites. You know what? Let me Google Wiki real quick so I can properly explain who Malar is. So Malar, the Beast Lord, primordial savage deity who revels in the hunt and the blood of the kills. Oh, right. Remember when we talk about the Rising Shadows adventure, the first one, the Defenders of Kaer Morhen. You had the Black Blood tribe, the lycanthropes, right? And then, yeah, I remember now. Defenders of Kaer Morhen happened in the Isle of Moray. The Sea Drake is bringing supplies to the beleaguered soldiers who guard the civilized areas of Moray. And Norland, the Northlanders who focus their raids on Amnites and non-human settlements mostly occupy this island. Norland is not featured prominently in this adventure, but it is the final destination of the Sea Drake. Oman, Fomorian, and other giants occupy this island. No human settlement exists. It is comprised of rough wilderness, home to large and dangerous creatures. During the adventure, the Sea Drake is forced to stop near Oman to get water and make repairs. Fomorian, from what I know, they're giants. They're Fey giants, like dark Fey, and they're kind of like disfigured. Some say that they are cursed. Some say that they are. I forgot the name of that race. Also giants that have like a red nose. Damn, I forgot. forgot. Let me see. It is. I'm assuming it's here. I am assuming it's here. Now I'm using my D&D book, yeah. MOON1-1. There you go. Fomorian or ant people. But yeah, so MOON1-1, there are MOON1-1s that have been transformed and cursed by the Fae and turned into Fomorians. That's some of the lore. Which one is real? Which one's not? Who knows? But that's what I've read so far. So Oman, we're going to Oman, and then that's it. So let's go open our map. Where is our super awesome map? So we're no longer. So let's see. From Walsbury. Let's put a circle here. We're going. Where are we going? Should I zoom out? I don't know if I can zoom out. Oof. There. This is so hard. All right. So from Walsbury, we're not going to Oman yet. We're going to Gwenet here, which is like south. It's a big island also. Formians are different. Fomorians, yeah, that's what they're called. The giants, the cursed giants. So this is Gwenet. This is the Isle of Gwenet, that where the kingdom of Sarafal is at there, and like the capital of the kingdom of Sarafal, where the seat of power is at Carador. That's where the leader of kingdom is at. And from what I know, they can go in and out of the Feywild, kind of phase in, phase out, material plane of Feywild. But that's not where we're going. So it says here that from Walsbury, they're gonna go straight of Oman. I have to find my cursor again. All right. Do I need to zoom out? So, and then here, there. So from Walsbury, we're gonna go to the Strait of Oman to go to Gwenet. I'm assuming you're gonna land here. I don't know. And then you're gonna go to Moray. And then we're gonna go up north. Good night. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you tomorrow. I hope. Good luck with work. Oh, we're not gonna go here. We're gonna go to Norland. Oh, I erased the map. We're gonna go to Norland. Somewhere here? I don't know. And then we're gonna go back. Then we're gonna go to Oman. That's a lot. That's our adventure. Let me see if I can get it. That's what we're gonna be doing. Okay, so we're starting with Walsbury. We're going to Gwenet, and then we're going to Moray, then Norland, then Oman. I'm not even sure if that's the right order, but that's what I'm assuming at the moment. Anyway, going back with the adventure. Player introduction. Walsbury, on the island of Aileron, is a small village nestled among the mountains, the sea of Moonshae, verdant fields, and deep woods. The village is a common place for adventurers to congregate. We know that. And the... Okay. And the local population is mostly of folk stock, but the Northlander stock also very present. We know that. Most of the inhabitants are human. Today, like most others, mist covers the Sea of Moonshae. As the light rain falls, the Dry-Toed Inn is one of the best places in town to avoid the rain that falls. This is kind of like copy-paste, right? Feel like this is what we saw in the previous what we read in the previous adventure. Oh, there's a difference. Almost constantly in the village to get a warm meal and some refreshing ale. A charming tiefling woman dressed in the latest Kalamshite fashions provides entertainment. She dances, twirls, sings, and recounts tales of ancient battles to the crowd. Patron seems equally amazed at her infernal heritage, her dance moves, and her storytelling ability. Many people, mostly locals, pack the common room. This is a good time to have the characters introduce themselves. So we have this tiefling performer. Previous adventure, there was a bard. Now we have this tiefling performer wearing Kalamshite clothing. Maybe these are like in fourth edition. These are stories of the bards, like different bards, what they have encountered in the Moonshaes. You know, that'll be good. DM introduction. Proceed to encounter one. Okay, the Sea Drake. The bard is Walla. That's her name. Kalamshite tiefling. Tiefling bard. Okay. Wala in Tagalog. Yeah, wala is the Tagalog word for nothing. But I'm assuming you say this as wala. She is currently traveling through the Moonshae Isles, heading northward to see the world. She then plans to head to Waterdeep, then the north. Okay. Walla knows the information about the islands found in the... What's this? Do we have another resource? Forgotten Realms Campaign Guide 4th Edition. Ooh. Might need to get that. I haven't read that. And the adventure background. Use Walla as a word on the street type of resource. Oh, alright. I like that. Do not discourage a paranoid character who believes Walla is a spy. Okay, she's not. Oh, do not discourage. Did I read that right? Do not discourage a paranoid NPC who believes Walla. So, alright, it's okay. If you think she's a spy, she's probably a spy. Okay. Eating peanuts while reading is probably not a good combination, but I can't stop. While in Walsbury, encounter 1. So you have Daffyd MacLear, the chieftain's son, and the ship's captain. All right, so he's the captain of the Sea Drake. All right, so we need that. While the characters are at the Dry-Toed Inn, Daffyd enters the room looking for a crew. Daffyd's entrance causes everyone to bow or wave politely to him. Oh, he's a... Alright, he's a special person here. Kind of... people to respect him. Make sure to convey the locals' love and respect for him. It even says there. The characters may already know David McClear from other adventures. Assume that anyone with a story award dealing with McClears know of him and that David knows of them. Okay. To those characters, he is much less formal. To all others, he is courteous and polite, but a little distant. David is a young man in his mid-teens, anxious for action and adventure. The voyage aboard the Sea Drake is his first as commander. He is very anxious to prove himself. Okay. David is an example to the typical Northlander. Tall, boisterous, and adventurous. Though he looks and acts like a Northlander, he is a mix of folk Northlander stock. He has long, flowing blonde hair and deep blue eyes. When he's at sea, he wears leather armor, an axe across his back, and a holy symbol of Tempest. He treats any Moonshavians, no matter their racial origin, as close friends and acts as such. He is curious about foreigners and those of races who are less common in the Isles, like our Tiefling Bard or Dragonborn. If we speak to David, if the adventurers speak to David, tell you that his father is a chieftain. He is almost ready to leave Walsbury to visit a number of islands, including Gwynedd, Moray, and Norland. This is his first command. He came here looking for extra guards for his expedition and offers the character's position if they want it. Gives them gold. Alright, for a level 4 to 7 adventure, he's willing to give a total of 5 gold pieces each to the adventurers. Noted. For a one-time job. He promises but he hints at bonuses based on his revenues from his trade in Moray and Norland. David does not volunteer the following information, but answers if asked. If he can give information about each of the islands, okay, given in the background. He plans to meet an Eladrin friend, which is, again, those are, we call the Lachey and Gwynedd. He meet a Eladrin friend of his father on Gwynedd. He's delivering supplies to the village of Moray. He's going to see his grandfather in Norland. So his Northlander blood is from the father's side. And then his father bought the Sea Drake for him a few weeks ago. Oh, okay. Look at this son of a politician, just got a new ship. And now he wants to go out to do and go island hopping. Noted. For people getting paid a silver a day on average, it must be a big job. Yeah, so in the Forgotten Realms, there's 10 days in a week. So 1 gold is if you live in like a silver per day kind of person. 1 gold you'll survive for 10 days. And 5 gold, yeah, that's more than a month. You'll survive for more than a month. So that is big, Okay, so if they agree with the characters to sail, we can go to Encounter 2. What happens in Encounter 2? Gwynedd. This one, I'm excited. Hadarai, Eloria, Riandir. Alright. Hadarai, Riandir. An Eladrin noble. Let's see if this noble is a Lachey, which is like the powerful elves that rules the kingdom of Seraphil and Gwynedd. Excuse me. Eladrin noble. So they board the Sea Drake, head to Gwynedd. It is obvious that mounts cannot be taken. If you have mounts, I'm sorry. If you're a halfling with a that shadow bat, well, the shadow bat can fly, so it's okay. The Sea Drake is a longboat with a crew of 25. Look at that! Look at that! This rich kid. Father bought him a boat, and then this boat has a crew of 25 plus you adventurers and him. It has a square sail and 10 oars on each side. A green wooden dragon head adorns the front of the ship. Oh, I like that. I like green. So, and the crewmen are all folk or Northlanders. 2 hours after dawn, the Sea Drake sets sail through a thick fog, common to the Sea of the Moonshae. Gwyneth. After a few days of sailing, sent you an audio file for that, Alpha. Let me see if I can listen to it. Let me listen to that again. Hadarai Elior Yandir. Right. Hadarai Elor Yandir. Okay. That is way better. Way better than what I was saying. Thank you for that, Chaos Hammer. Alright. See? Chat is good to me. Going back here, let's see. So Gwyneth, we're going to Gwyneth. Gwyneth, after a few days of sailing in the rain and fog, the Sea Drake and as well into the Strait of Oman. I want to know where we're gonna land. Which town? So on a chilly morning, Daffyd maneuvers the ship into a small bay and asks the characters to come ashore with him. He responds to any inquiries with a simple later. The crew eyes the characters and the shore warily as though they were looking at condemned people. Oh. The look in their eyes betrays their happiness staying on board. As long as he is on Gwyneth, Daffyd speaks in a hushed voice, as if not to attract attention. Though he does not say it, Daffyd is terrified at the idea of being caught by some less friendly fae. I like this idea that the humans that live here are afraid of the fae. Because when the Fae invaded the Isle of Gwyneth, they are powerful. They have the means of not just conquering the Isle of Gwyneth, but the whole Moonshae Isles. But they stopped. As soon as they got the whole Isle of Gwyneth, they said, no more. We're happy that we got Gwyneth, and you should thank us that even though we're powerful, we didn't conquer your whole Moonshae Isles. Right, it's a bit cocky and confident there, but here you can see that the people of Moonshae Isles, the folk, and the Northlanders. Well, we'll see what the Northlanders think, but it looks like there's an assumption here. You can assume here that the people are afraid of the Fae. All right. Hey Onyx, we're doing great. 2 hours, almost 2.5 into the stream. We're on the second adventure from 4th edition, The Living Forgotten Realms. We're reading the Sea Drake. We got some cool story from the first one. So hopefully we can get a cooler story from this one. If not as cool as the first one. But anyway, we want to read all the 4th edition Moonshae Isle adventure and extract as much lore as we can. So thanks for joining. Anyway, going back. So what do we have here? Daffyd is here to meet an Eladrin named Hadarai. Hadarai is a local noble. Hadarai has been to Walsbury a few times in the past. He is interested in setting up trade between his lands and Walsbury. Non-Fae are illegal on the island of Gwyneth by the order of their queen. And this is the Queen Ordulf, if I'm right. And then I know something happened to the queen in the Rising Shadows, but I haven't read it yet, so I don't want any spoilers. Well, I want them. I'm okay with them, but we'll find out together when we go back to the Rising Shadows and start reading those adventures. Okay. Once ashore, Daffod pulls out a naval map and heads into the wilderness. The forest here has an ethereal, magical feel to it. They didn't say where in Gwyneth they landed, right? There's no mention. It's a small base somewhere, but no specific location. And then they go into the forest. In the island where Fae is dominant, they go into the forest. That is pretty scary if you're one of the folks or Nordlanders. Okay. And everything feels, smells, and sounds different. Colors more vivid, shadows darker, sound clearer, traveling farther. Everything they see here is from the good side of the Feywild. Feels like a trap to me. Those with perception are startled as they perceive shadowy things in their peripheral vision. All right. Have fun scaring those player characters. Yeah, I would definitely. If I'm running this, I'll definitely spend like 5-10 minutes just on that part. The forest pollen is a hallucinogen. Yeah. Maybe we'll see. But that is also a cool idea. And then you just realize that no, you're not on the good side of the Feywild. You're on the bad side. You start to see like dried trees and like just the mud and everything, and you feel the dark Fae's presence. Yeah. Does this story deal with the far wild? It deals with the Feywild a bit on this part. Because again, we're in the Moonshae Isles. So the Moonshae Isles is a group of islands west of Faerun. And the Moonshae Isles is heavily influenced by Celtic lore, King Arthur and stuff. But there's also Vikings, there's also dwarves, there's also giants, and a lot of Fae. So, like, there's so much Fae that one of the islands is just off limits to non-Fae creature. Anyway, going back. High bonuses in Arcana nature, should be amazed at the Fae elements here. Okay. Even the animals and trees and rocks seem to be touched by the Feywild. Good to know. About half a mile. Look at this. They have kilometers listed here. How come people didn't like 4th edition? What happened? I've heard stories that not a lot of people like 4th edition. I'm reading this format. The author was French. Yeah. I'm assuming based on the name. Well, I might be wrong, but look at that. About a half mile, 1 kilometer inland. The characters and Daffod come across the ruins of a ruined human temple. All right. And the temple recognized as the symbols of Shantae. Again, it can be. I think in this edition, they think that the Earth Mother is an aspect of Shantae. In 5th edition, we are looking at the Earth Mother as a prime deity, a primal deity. Not primal deity, a primal spirit. And not related to Shantae at all. Which one is real? We don't know because it keeps changing. In the ruins of the temple, reclaimed by the ever-present forest, stands a lone Eladrin. Stands regal. He frowns upon seeing you, but his face warms when he sees Daffod. Daffod speaks out. Hadarai, how have you been, old friend? and the two exchange a friendly embrace. David and Hadrai talk like old friends. Hadrai is wary of drow and tieflings, but he tolerates them because of David's presence. Oh, wow. Okay. We have that. We have to deal with that here. Okay. Characters with the thanks or favor of the McLears should be allowed extra freedom in interacting with Hadrai. This exchange should be dynamic. The Dungeon Master can allow skill checks, but it's not a skill challenge, so no XP here. It's just for role playing. And you may learn some information found in the Gwyneth section, plus the following. Hadrai dislikes the current isolationist policies of High Lady Ordalf, also known as Queen Lachey. Alright. Again, the Lachey is like the Eladrins that live here in the Moonshae Isles. And they are powerful Eladrin elves. He can circumvent the law by having trade be conducted by Eladrin or elven merchants. Okay. Hadrai is very interested in trade for foreign goods, particularly books of lore and magic. We want some lore too. We want some lore. And magic. Yes, magic as well. I'm not going to say no to magic. Hadrai wants to trade a number of elven crafted items such as jewelry and magic items. Oh, wow. We're going to get some good stuff. Though he doesn't say it, with an inside check, meaning Hadrai tells the characters that Hadrai is convinced of the superiority of the Eladrin elven culture over all others. However, that does not mean that he finds other cultures as worthless. Of course. Of course. Of course. Okay. That made me cough a bit. Ending the encounter. Both David and Hadrai are very happy with the meeting they had, assuming that the characters do nothing to offend the Eladrin. Hadrai offers a magical elven blade to David and also makes an offering of friendship to the characters. Hadrai offers the characters elven cloak +2 and also magic armor +2. At the higher tier, it's an Eladrin armor +2. Let's try to understand Hadarai's way of thinking here. It says here that Hadrai is convinced of the superiority of the Eladrin elven culture over all others. But that's because technically Eladrins or elves in general live long age, like 800 years, right? On average. And then you have these powerful, they're not just ordinary Eladrins. They are like super powerful Eladrins, the Lachey. So they're probably, you can consider them on like the immortal level unless, you know, they get slain. They'll probably, if they take care of themselves, they're gonna stay alive for a long time. Long time. So I can understand if they see other mortals as something lesser. Is that the right way of treating other races? Of course not, but you could start to see why they're thinking that way, right? Okay, so we have that. And yes, low-level characters making bank. You get an elven cloak +2 just by joining. At low tier, he offers magic armor +2. So imagine you join this job of, you know, just being in the guard of the son of the chieftain. You go around island hopping. He talks to his father's friend, which is a powerful Lachey and Gwyneth, and you get a magic armor, not just a normal, not just like a +1 magic armor, you know. It's of high quality. So you get like a +2 version of it. That's cool. And if he really likes you or like you look strong, gives you an Eladrin armor +2. Ah, that looks badass. I wonder if there's like a description of the items here somewhere. We didn't see one. I didn't see one on the other adventure. Anyway, encounter 3. We're in Oman. So after that, we meet the friend of David's father, Hajarai, and now we go. Oh, we go to Oman next. The path we made is wrong. So Gwyneth and then Oman. Okay. So we go to Oman. Where's my map? Where is my map? So we go to Gwyneth. This is all wrong. This is all wrong. So we go to Gwyneth and then we go to Oman. Somewhere in Oman. There. Until we know where that is. So during the storm, the sea drake is damaged. So there's a storm that happened. And the water supply contaminated. David sends the characters ashore to get water. Oh, I'm getting hiccups. Leaving Gwyneth, bad weather strikes and does not improve during the night. The ship shakes and groans under the wind, waves, and strong currents of the Strait of Oman that separates the islands of Gwyneth and Oman. Stinging rain whips those on deck. David stands alone at the rudder, shouting to keep his men focused. It's a longboat that they have, yeah. Shortly before dawn, David maneuvers the sea drake into a sheltered bay. The men relax as the anchor drops. Many of them collapse from exhaustion. David examines the ship. After a moment, he takes a pouch of coins and throws it overboard. Oh, what? A moment after he takes a pouch of coins and throws it overboard. She'll stay afloat, but she needs repairs. The bitch queen didn't really want to have us this day. Oh, so it's like an offering. 2 barrels of fresh water were contaminated with salt water. I need you to go ashore and find some fresh water to fill the barrels. Be careful and do not waste any time. This is the island of Oman. Fomorians and their giant minions rule this island, and they don't like intruders. Okay. Religion check reveals that the bag of coins was an offering, yep, to Umberly, the queen of the depths, and the bitch queen. After escaping a storm, many sailors give offerings to her. Aw. We're only earning, the adventurers are only gonna earn like 5 gold pieces. But if you have to choose if survive or die, I guess you can offer some of your coins. Okay. The characters are given 2 large barrels to fill with fresh water. The barrels are meant to be rolled, not carried, so any other characters can push them. Oh, we have a combat encounter. So there's a direwolf, ogre, savage boss, ogre skirmisher. Okay. At high tier, you have direwolf, savage boss, and then 2 skirmishers. Features of the area. So you have the barrels. Okay. We don't really need it. This is just a map. For the map, later I'll show you the boulders. You have it there. So there's a pond in this area. There's a stream and there are trees. Okay. Tactics. The ogres are hunting when they see the characters. They did not expect to see the characters, but they're willing to adapt their diet. Okay, so they have that. Ending the encounter so they're trying to look for fresh water, but then they encounter the ogres with the wolves. And after that combat is done, they can fill the barrels and return to the ship. Having returned from a water hunting trip, they look to smooth sailing. The crew of the Sea Drake is hard at work trying to fix the ship. Morale is high, and David is confident you should be underway before midday. Then, the spotter in the crow's nest shouts, "Fomorians! A group of Fomorians are coming this way!" Immediately, the crew looks up in horror, trying to spot the giants. "Come on, men! Weigh the anchor! Unfurl the sails! The repairers have to wait. To your oars, may the gods smile upon us today. It's all those peanuts stuck that I chewed. Some of them still in my throat, I think. Make it obvious that the fighting... what's happening here? The pieces that fight the Fomorians is... Alright, so we don't want them to fight the Fomorians. We need to see Drake to leave it. So they only went to Oman because there's a storm. And they kind of want to weather it out. That's it. That's what they want to do. And the Fomorians throw a few boulders and other projectiles at the Sea Drake as it limps away. The ship sails away but takes extra damage from the attack. Because of this, the characters have to help sail the ship through the night and reach Encounter 4 without a possibility of taking extended rest. You don't get any treasure, you just get experience points. You have Dire Wolf, Ogre Skirmisher, Savage Boss, and High Level. And then this is our map. Start here, and then the Wolves, Skirmishers, and okay, you have that. The Orcs of Moray. Okay. You have the Orcs of Moray. I wonder if this one also has like 7 encounters or more. So this looks like another combat encounter. The Sea Drake limps across the Sea of Moonshae until the island of Moray comes into view. Again, David comes to you. We'll need a few days to repair. My father promised our local garrison commander the assistance of a few of my men, since they are under immense pressure from orcs and their Malarite overseers. I'd like for him to get some extra men as soon as possible. I want you to head to Moray immediately. And there should be a road nearby that will take you to town. You should be able to make it by nightfall. We will sail to meet you when repairs are made. Okay. Let's see. David gives the character some rations and sealed letter for Captain Ruwery O'Bannon. Who are you, Captain Ruwery? Garrison Commander. Garrison Commander. Okay. Have that. And the road is easy to find, however overgrown and in need of maintenance. Using a cart or wagon should be difficult, but walking is not impeded in any way. Let's look at our map. I want to see our map. We're in Moray. We're no longer in Oman. And so let me try to... So they either landed at Bray or Cork. And they said they're heading towards Moray. Bray doesn't have a road towards Moray. So I'm assuming they're like docking at the village of Cork. Which, if you watch our stream, Balmon Games stream, Moonshae as Castle of Skull, this is where we started. So it's an Omnian settlement. Here at, so there's a lot of Omnian settlers in the village of Cork. Yeah. So let me try to zoom this. Zoom. Oops. And then center it. There. So if they landed in Cork, they're going to use the road here And they're gonna get to Moray or Care Moray because there's a castle there. Okay. That's where they're headed. Or did they? I'm dumb. They could just went straight. All right, they could just went straight to Moray. Is that what they did? That's probably the best way to do that. So let's remove the map. Go back to the adventure. Where is that? So the setup. There are orc drudges, orc groom, orc raider, spitting drakes. So the characters are looking for the road. They come across a small orc warband bent on mayhem. The orcs and the characters meet each other near the old ruin. The camp does not belong to the orcs. They came across it when the characters arrive. The orc drudges on, guard shout, revealing their positions and negating all form of surprise for either side. Got it. Features. There are ruins. Is there any information on these ruins? Saving throw. That's it. There's no lore particularly. They feel a great peace of serenity and serenity. Statue. The statue depicts a human female. It is an aspect of Shantea or the Earth Mother. Stone Circle. The stone circle is made of blue crystalline rocks. The stone circle is a minor Earth node. Okay. The circle sits on top of a massive crystalline structure. Anyone coming within 6 squares of it can make a single DC 25. That's high. Arcana check is a minor action to identify. I wonder in 4th edition if that's a high DC. The orcs have not identified it. Success indicates that the PC tap into the power of the node and can use a +2 on one attack. Okay. So it just gives him a boon. And then there are trees. Tactics, you have that. And then ending the encounter. The orcs work for a powerful local. Even in 4th edition, I'm not sure what the modifiers are in 4th edition. So, in DC 25 for a low tier adventure, it's pretty hard. Even with a high tier adventure, DC 25 is hard. So, but I don't know if in 4th edition there's like +7, +8, +10 modifiers. So, and if that's common in low tiers, I'm not gonna assume. Yeah. So after fighting the orcs work for a powerful local Malarite warlord. Do you have a name? I hope you have a name. The warlord is more powerful than them, so they obey him. Alright. Is the warlord also an orc? Do they not know? They do not know where the warlord is. They assume the camp belong to the characters. The orcs wage a constant war against the non-Malarite inhabitants of this island. Poor Moray. In Moray, there are lycanthropes. The Black Blood tribe is there. And then you have these orcs attacking as well. Land must be cheap in Moray. If you have to choose, if you wanna own your own house, but you're low in gold, probably buy like a good sized land in Moray. But you're probably not gonna survive for long. The orcs have convinced the human settlements will soon all fall for them. They boast about the number of kills they have. So imagine that the orcs that we just fought, each of them just killed 50 people. 50. Each one of them. That's a lot. That's not a best place to live. Right? Imagine you live in a small town and there's a serial killer. Killed like 5 or 6. That's already like a big red flag, right? And you probably think of moving out. But you're in a small village somewhere in Moray, and you encounter this war band. It's like five orcs, I think, and each one of them have killed 50 people. Run. Please run. Barricading it all. Forget walking the street is, yeah, you need to have like a palisade. I don't even think a wooden palisade is enough. You need to live in Moray, because I'm assuming there's like a stone wall there. But after reading what happened in the Rising Shadows, Defenders of Kaer Morhen, which happened in the future. This is in 4th edition. Defenders of Kaer Morhen is in 5th edition. The walls. Oh, actually, there's just palisade in Kaer Morhen. Just a wooden palisade. So just imagine in Moray, it's not even safe because there's in the future it will get attacked by lycanthropes. Oof, not a good place to live. But I bet the land is cheap. Troubleshooting. Camping outdoors is very dangerous. Why would you camp outdoors in Moray? No. Do not do that. Try to dissuade the characters from doing so, emphasizing the growls of creatures in distance and many booted tracks in the area. If the characters decide to rest, allow them to set up camp and have were-rats from Encounter 5. Okay. And they get experience points. Orc Grudge, Orc Raider, Orc Eye of Groom, which can cast spells, I think. Or not. They have Swift Arm of Destruction. That sounds cool. And then you have the Drakes. And then you have the camp, the map, the ruins, the circle. Okay, you have that. I wonder if these are like pre-made maps. So I'm looking at it. It looks like they're pre-made maps, and then whoever's making these adventures, they're just kind of editing it. Like adding a layer and putting stuff on top of it. That's what it looks like. Oh no, Black Blood. We were just talking about it. And that's the name of Encounter 5. Man, I feel sorry for the people that lives in Moray. But this is good because we're learning. We're learning about the Isles. We're learning about like the lifestyle, like the conditions of living in the Moonshae Isles. And Moray is not the place to be, apparently. Let me just drink this. Let's see. The sun begins to disappear in the west when you pass another broken signpost. Moray, 1 mile. The Moray countryside is covered with burned farms, recently destroyed towers, and pillaged villages. The fields are unattended and grow wild with weeds. Ahead, a destroyed wagon lies close to the road by another abandoned farmhouse. I just feel sorry for the people that live here. This is just sad. And then, so what do we get? We get were-rats, 1 werewolf, and then 6 giant rats. Let's look at the stats later to see if their definition of giant rat is like human-sized rat or just, a dog-sized rat. Okay. At higher tier, there's even a hag included. No. The were-rats are led by a werewolf. They belong to the bloodthirsty cult of Malar named the Black Blood Tribe. They mercilessly kill in the Beast Lord's name anyone they do not know. If they do not know you, you are dead. Just based from that, I think they're worse than the orcs of Moray. Portray the lycanthropes as fanatics bent on mayhem and destruction. At the high tier, a hag joins them in their quest. While not a worshipper, Malar herself, she adds to the lycanthrope's power with her psychic abilities. A hag with psychic abilities. Do not camp outside Moray, please. To determine if the Malarites surprise the character. Okay, so there's a surprise round possible. Boulders, cabins. What else do we have here for cover? Illumination. There's a pond, ruined wagon, statue of what? What's this statue of? A statue as a werewolf and one of the many aspects of the god Malar. So it's a Malar statue, worshipped by the lycanthropes and tribal humanoids and the island of Moray. And then trees. Of course, there are trees. Tactics. Okay, rats are trained, considered Malarites. Even the rats worship Malar. Okay. Ending the encounter. Defeat the Black Blood Tribe. They can rest and get to Moray. Oh, they're just on their way to Moray too. Treasure. Oh, we got some treasure here. In the cabin, they find obsidian steed. Did they get a nightmare from this? Or is this different? I don't know what this item. It's low tier, so I'm assuming they're not gonna get a nightmare. I'm thinking of the figurines of power, or a gray bag of tricks. If it's high tier. All right. And then spell scrolls of knock and silence. If I'm here encountering killer orcs and lycanthropes with... Alright, the giant rat is small. So it's like dog-sized rat. Okay. Then I better get that cool... I better get those cool items. Right? Howling Hag. It says it's psychic. I want to see its attack. Thunder damage, thunder damage. Change shape, face, step. Nothing really says anything about psychic. Or did I read that wrong? Either I'm blind or I'm not seeing it. Okay. And then the map. Cabin. This is where you start in the road. There's a pond. They're 1 mile away. There's a statue of Malar. Okay. Encounter 6. I think we're close to the end. And then they combined Moray and Norland. They combined it. Captain Ruary O'Bannon. Folk veteran soldier. Early 30s. They reach the town of Moray. Moray is a military outpost. A series of tall towers protect the town. A sturdy but worn palisade surrounds the few homes. Moray is a home to, at most, a few hundred. All ground within a quarter mile of the palisade has been scourged, giving archers and sentries a good view of any approaching the palisade. People in and out of Moray are frequently under attack by Malarites, orcs, ogres, and Ettins. Ettins, those two-headed giants. Moray manages to export coal and other important raw materials. However, it relies on the outside world for its own supplies such as food, weapon, and manpower. Before being allowed inside the city, the character is asked to cut himself with a steel blade, doing 1 point of damage. The guard then looks to make sure the wound does not heal immediately. Oh, because lycanthropes can heal. They're making sure the PCs are not lycanthropes. Okay, yeah. Once the check is done, the PCs are asked their purpose in Moray and allowed to enter town. Once inside, Captain Ruary is easy to find. A native of Moray, Ruary. Oh, this captain is already a badass. The fact that he grew up here in Moray, he survived, everything, that's good already. Is liked by the populace and considered a no-nonsense type. I would assume if you live here, you will have that kind of attitude too. Ruary shares the following information, which can be learned by asking around. The rest of the world does not really care for Moray. Oh man, it's just sad. David's presence shows that this is not quite true. But the people of Moray, they feel hopeless. And because of all these creatures that live here, these evil beings that are just here. He talks about the orcs and Ethans as mere nuances. He admits, however, they are extremely numerous and dangerous nuances. Though he does not say so aloud, he is grateful for the characters and David's out. We have a tsundere captain here. Most of his men serve on the walls of Moray or as caravan guards heading back to the north from the coal mines around Moray. Some of his men are here only for short periods of time before they rotate out. These men are loaned by ship captains and nobles from other islands. He hates the lycanthropes of the Black Blood tribe with a passion. I mean, those lycanthropes, if they don't know you, they kill you. That's it. So I can understand why Ruary hates them. A few days later, the Sea Drake sails to the town of Moray. The arrival of the Sea Drake. Alright, so they don't sail. I think my map is right. Let's read this paragraph. Sails to the town of Moray. The arrival of the Sea Drake raises spirits in town as new supplies are brought ashore. Some of David's men disembark to join the garrison, and some soldiers turn into sailors as they leave Moray on the Sea Drake. Oh. So some of David's employees disembarked and stayed here in Moray to defend the place. Probably locals, or those who just, good natured and they want to protect the people of Moray. And then some who don't want to stay here in Moray anymore got an opportunity to become sailors at David's ship. That's good. You know what? I'm liking this adventure because here we get a realization of what Moray is like, and also how the folk fears the Fae. You get that sense here. So I like this adventure. I like it. So there's a couple of eye-opening scenes here. David greets the characters with a wide smile and the warrior's embrace. He is genuinely happy to see them. He thanks them for their help. And then we go to Encounter 7. So let's go back to my map. I think that's what happened. So they went... The Sea Drake didn't go to Kaer Moray right away because repairs are needed. So it's either Bray... But there's no road here. So I'm assuming the next one is Cork. So they dock at Cork while they get repaired. The Sea Drake gets repaired. But David wants the characters to go to Moray and tell them that, and give them some help. And then once the characters are there, probably a few days later, the Sea Drake arrives and docks at Moray after the repairs. Okay. And then after this, they now have to go to Norland. If I can find my cursor. Norland is up here. Let me find. Need to zoom out. Alright. Norland. I wonder where in Norland are we gonna go. But anyway. Later we'll check. So that's it. We have an optional encounter. So this is not the end. Oh, we have a Ragnar. I want to read this optional encounter. We have King Ragnar Sigurdsson. Northlander King. Are you reading this? Are you reading this with me? The King of the Northlanders in 4th edition. And David's grandfather. Oh, the quality of the video dropped? Is it all good now? Oh, man. Anyway. What are their names? I forgot their names. The MacLears. Their grandfather is the king of the Northlanders. or Brendan's father is the king of the Northlanders. I think Walsbury is kind of like a colony of Moray. And no. Ragnar is from Norlander, not Moray. Moray is just a sad island. But yeah, it can be like a colony of Norland. Because the influence here is you have, the son of the king of the Norlanders is the chieftain there. But they also said at like the start and also in the previous adventure in Nature's Wrath that there's more folk living in Warsbury than Northlanders. All right. That's good to know. I'm liking this adventure. I'm learning a lot about the Moonshaes by reading this adventure. So that's good. JP is done well in writing this adventure. I'm learning a lot. All right, so let's go and dive into this. So this is an optional combat encounter. It has 1 bear alpha male. Okay. Why does it have to be male? All right, doesn't matter. The Sea Drake sails north towards southeastern Norland, where David is due to meet his maternal. Huh? So the Norlander is on the mother's side. So that means Brendan is folk. Brendan, the father of David, through Chad, went to the Norlanders and got the king's daughter in hand of marriage. But I saw somewhere that it's the father's side is the Norlander. Am I reading it wrong? Where is that? Sorry, I have to scroll up. We need to make this right. Or at least we need to find the right information. While in wars, all right. His father is the chieftain. He came here looking for extra guards. He offers his first command. He can give information about each of the islands. He plans to his father's friend and Gwinnett. He's delivering supplies to the village of Moray. He's going to see his grandfather in Norland. Where did I make that assumption that Brennan, like David's father, is a Northlander? Maternal grandfather would mean it will be Eilern's father. Yeah, the oh. So is it like a grandpa-in-law? Is that No, I'm thinking it wrong. Seamus. No, Eilern is different. Eilern is the wife of the owner of the inn, not the mucklinger. But I saw something here about I'm trying to find it. Damn it, I lost it. Because I wrote it here that Callum Shite, Mooring Garrison Commander, King Ragnar. Alright. Okay, so maybe we're wrong. It doesn't mean that, it's just that his wife definitely is. Yeah, so I'm assuming. No. Brandon is not a Northlander because it was mentioned here that David is a mix of folk and Northlander. So if the mother is Northlander, then father is the folk. Or unless it's like half, right? Father is also half folk, half Norlander. And then David is like, yeah, it's possible. All right. So we're learning here that it's David's mother, Warlesbury's, damn it, I don't even know how to pronounce it anymore. Warlesbury's chieftain's wife is the Norlander, and the daughter of the king of the Northlanders. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's here. We're probably gonna learn more. The Sea Drake sails north towards southeastern Norland, where David is due to meet his maternal grandfather and conclude their voyage on the Sea of Moonshae. And the PC should have ample time to rest after leaving Moray. Good to know there's a direct connection from the king to the once dry. There's none. I think you have it wrong because these guys. Yeah, why are you thinking that it's not the town of Walsbury? Yes. Now you're getting me confused as well. Uh, Glom Gruesome, hey, thanks for joining the conversation. It's like reading Icelandic sagas. You have to have separate sheet to write down the answers to. Yeah, that's why I have a notepad open. I swear I saw it in this part that it's David's father that's a Nordlander, and under that assumption, and then and then here we see it's a maternal grandfather, so it's David's mom. That is the Norlander. Okay. But yeah, it's fun, right? This part is fun. Trying to figure things out. Um, I'm enjoying it. So going back here, what do we have? So the characters rest after leaving Moray, and then the southern part of Norland is covered with a tall pine forest. The coast is rather inhospitable, with the occasional river flowing down from the southern Jotunhammer Mountains. I'm assuming that's how you say that, because I have seen the word Jotun before. That's how I pronounce it. So it's a hammer. Jotunhammer Mountains. David navigates the ship into one of the narrow rivers. Oar power pulls the Sea Drake upriver for about 3 miles. On a small lake rests a village of about 20 longhouses. 2 longships similar to the Sea Drake are pulled up at the beach. A number of Northlanders come to greet the Sea Drake. The warriors stand in front with weapons at the ready. Once David identifies himself, the men part and smiles return. Alright. The village is called Sigurdheim. Sigurdheim. Let's find that place. Sigurdheim. Where is my zoom button? Give me a second. Don't see my hand. I'm trying to find the zoom button. Sigurdheim. Let's find it here. Is it here? It's here. Alright, we're in Norland. Said East Shore. I don't see. You have Rogersheim, Arfinsheim. It's not here. And it's not marked. Okay. Yes, it's not here. So it's probably important for me to write that down. Sigurdheim. You know, for a place where the king of the Norlanders will be at, I'm thinking it's an important place, right? And it'll be marked on the map. Just put it there. Probably too small, yeah. A king, not the king. You're right. Because, all right, let me just try to put my thoughts together. Northlanders. So the folk are the first ones to arrive in the Moonshaes. And then the Northlanders arrive. And they try to invade some of the places, the villages, some of the folk settlements. So there's a war between the Northlanders and the folk at the beginning. And these tribes, these Northlander tribes, they each have kings, right? And then, let's see if I got this right. And then the High Queen, Alicia Kendrick, uh, kind of united the folk and the Northlanders, if I'm remembering it right. So there's peace happened between the Northlanders and the folk, and they all agree to follow or obey the High King or Queen, which at that time was Alicia Kendrick. And the Northlanders forgo their titles as kings and became jarls instead. Yeah. So they're no longer kings. Like in fifth edition now, and I'm assuming in Rising Shadows when we see more Northlander stories, adventures, they're no longer called kings. They have the title of jarls now. There. But here it looks like that doesn't happen. So if hasn't happened, that means what Alicia did that haven't occurred yet. Alicia Kendrick is the I need Forgotten Realms wiki on this. We need this. Daryl Kendrick, because yeah. So the current High King, Kendrick, is the son of Alicia Kendrick, the one that kind of united the folk and Norlanders. And you know what? Let's read through it. After the Art Mother. Oh, there's not much lore here. Okay. Oh, she's in the books too. All right. We need to read the books next. There. So there's a lot of lore, but we're slowly trying to make the connections here. Slowly. One was their war leader. Yeah. I've listened to the audiobooks, but I'm not 100% paying attention. So we might either I'm going to read it in my own time, or we're going to have some serious research time here on stream reading the book together. Is what I end up making going to be part of the canon? So you see, what we're making, the storylines that we're making are part of Adventures League, which is, again, the organized play system for 5th edition. The ones made officially by Wizards of the Coast, those are canon. But since they're no longer making adventures, and this is just like a new rule that happened this year, they're no longer making AL adventures or Adventures League adventures. They're giving it off to premier organizers, and there's only two basically: Gamehole Con and Ballman Games. And they're like, all right, we're not gonna make adventures anymore. Your premier, we're gonna outsource it to premier organizers. And that's why Dreams of the Red Wizard, Dragonlance, and Moonshae Owls, which would been with the Ballman Games since the start. Those are the storylines that we're running for Adventures League. Are they canon? I cannot say, because technically it's still not made by Wizards of the Coast. It's made by a third party. It's blessed, quote unquote, blessed by or approved by Wizards of the Coast that you can write these adventures, but it's not made by Wizards of the Coast themselves. So Um, until somebody from Wizards of the Coast says, "Yep, these adventures are canon." You know, yeah, that's it. So, uh, but the thing is, I'm thinking that it's gonna be semi-canon until Wizards of the Coast decided to make a book about the Moonshae Isles and then just kind of ignore the stuff that we've written so far. There. But for me, the reason why I'm doing these research, and also not just for adventure writing, is because if or there's a higher chance that what we make will be canon if it complies and with the previous lore. If there's not a lot of plot holes based from what happened in previous adventures, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. But behind the scenes logistics, that is what it is. Yeah, yeah. So what we do here, if we try to say, all right, it's time to save Moray. Moray has a lot of bad people, a lot of bad creatures, and this is because we've read the previous adventures in Moonshae Island, so we know that it connects. It's a seamless, flow of lore and story. So if it's easier for Wizard of the Coast to say, yeah, you know what, that's canon. Yeah, let's absorb it because I don't see any bad like negative effect on it if we absorb those adventures as canon. So that's why I'm doing this. So it kind of gives an extra layer of protection to the adventures that we're making. Yeah. Plus, again, doing this, learning all the lore and stuff, it's fun stuff. I like it. I'm having fun. And I know we don't have a lot of viewers right now, but in the future, once we find those people who enjoy the same things we are enjoying, oh man, we're gonna have fun conversation every night, every day. So yeah. Going back, we are on what? Encounter 7. What's happening here? So Daffod navigates the ship into one of the narrow rivers. We read that a number of Nordlanders come to greet. So the village is called Sigurdheim. Daffod is shown to an aging warrior, his grandfather Ragnar. The two embrace tenderly. Daffod introduced the characters to King Ragnar. Okay. The Northlanders here have kept their culture more intact than in other places around the Moonshales. They are warlike and suspicious of strangers. Yes. In the village, the characters can see a number of Omnite weapons, armor, and clothing. Oh, wow. Omnite, there's influence here. This is due to the heavy raiding. Oh, of course, not trading. It's because they raided. The Nordlanders raided the Amnites' ships that sailed between Snowdown and across the Sea of Swords. Good job, good job. Good job, Ragnar. I love it. I should, yeah, I made assumptions right away, right? But good job. Good job, Ragnar. I like you already. The Nordlanders here respect warriors and martial prowess. They worship Tempest above all other gods. Characters whose powers... sorry. Where is that? There. They worship Tempest above all other gods. PC characters whose powers come from martial source, such as fighters, rogues, and warlords, or divine source revering Tempest, are particularly well treated. All others are viewed with suspicion. If you're a wizard, sorcerer, warlock, What else would they not like? Druid. Druid is divine. That's it. Arcane casters. Paladin is a fighter and also divine magic. Okay. All others are viewed with suspicion, treated cordially, but not overly so. There are few folk in the village. Yeah, because you have to remember, in this area, it's away from the mainland, and they are scared of magic that they cannot they're afraid of things that they cannot explain. Divine magic, they can easily connect it to a deity, to the earth mother, but arcane magic, how is that made? How come you possess that kind of magic? Where did it come from? You automatically assume it didn't come from a deity that they worship, so it may have come from the devil or from the dark fae or whatever. So that's why they're afraid. These folks are valued allies of the. There are a few folk in the village. They live apart from the Northlanders. The folk are valued allies of the Northlanders and are viewed as friends. They hunt together, but the folk do not like raiding as much as the Northlanders do. Okay. So the leaders of the Northlanders are still called kings, but the Northlanders and the folk kind of are living peacefully together now. So I'm still trying to figure out where are we in the timeline. But yeah, okay. Optional. So the bear hunt. This option combat should only be run if there's more time. Okay, so King Ragnar approaches the adventurers. You seem like strong-hearted warriors. Does the heart of the warrior beat within you? Does the foe hammer's creed resonate in your war cry? My grandson says so, and I want to see such bravery for myself. A hunt against one of the great beasts of our land it is. I call you to a hunt to prove your mettle. What do you say? And Daphid nods at you, inviting you to agree. So this is a common trope for like warrior tribes, to prove yourself, if you know, and gain their respect. So I like it. I like seeing it here. It's very common, so people can relate to it right away because they've probably seen it in a movie or in a book somewhere. This has been done a lot of times, so they can understand what needs to be done and why this is being done. Yeah, very common. So the terms are simple. King Ragnar tells the characters where they might find one of the many beasts in the area. He chooses a particularly dangerous bear for the characters to hunt. King Ragnar insists that victory over one's foe is the most important thing a true warrior can achieve. Alright. The characters are led into a great pine forest around Sigurdheim and shown to the bear's cave. King Ragnar, Daphid, and a few warriors wait outside the cave. Go inside the cave, kill this dangerous bear. When you come out successful, alive, and you're one of us. Got it. There's a giant skull. The giant skull is from an ancient beast that was slain here. Alright, so this is like map information. No light source. There's a water hole. Tactics. The bear charges to combat. Okay. We're not going to read through that. We were here for the lore, mostly. Scaling the encounter. You have that. So you fight the bear once you're inside the cave. And after that, as night falls on the small village of Sigurdheim, the villagers convenes at the king's house. The local skald sings tales of war and raiding. He sings the praise of Ragnar and his men fighting the cowardly Omnites. War and raiding are close to the Northlanders' hearts, and amidst food and drink, the crowd listens to the tales and sings along. And allow the characters to tell a single story of their previous adventures. Note the type of story that they part in it. Okay, so this is a share your story kind of thing. And those that are impresses Ragnar, they earn a story award. Impress King Ragnar Sigurdsson award. Ragnar is impressed by the tales of the battle and defeating great foes, and beasts not by tales or magic and travel. All right. The characters. Oh, so bards as well. Bards. Okay. Bards use arcane. And also divine. Divine and arcane. So I can see them being not treated the same, or them not being as nice to others. They're gonna be in the same category as the arcane spellcasters. So characters earn that, okay, and then the king adds the following: "It is good to see that the way of the warrior is alive in you, Outlander. May the foe hammer bring you 1,000 victories." And with this, you earn the money from David, which is 5 gold pieces, plus he offers them a bonus for their bravery and moray. He pays a total of, wow, from 5 gold pieces to 80 or 120 gold pieces. Plus they got a magic item somewhere. And then he also offers a belt of sacrifice, which I have no idea what it does. And then they get a good another story award. And then the Tales of Magic bore him. Think of Ragnar as a barbarian warlord. If the the characters played an optional encounter and vanquished the bear, all characters earn this reward. Okay. Got it. The bear doesn't look that strong. It's a medium bear. 316 hit points. Alright, that might be a lot. AC 23. Okay. Double attack. What's her damage? Claw 2d8 plus 6. Stomp 2d8 plus 6. Okay. Combat was wonky in 4E. Look at that. That's a chonky bear. It's a medium bear. So it's the same size as a humanoid, but with 300 plus HP. That probably killed that giant. Whatever that skull is. That looks like a dragon skull. Reward summary. So I'm assuming you're not going to get all of the items. So you choose a bundle based on what it says here. Yeah, it looks like a black dragon skull. So you either get obsidian steed, right? You're only supposed to choose what it's saying. We need to scroll down. I need to scroll down. Form of gold. Buy, sell magic items. If a player selects a magic weapon, shield, or suit of armor. Okay. Choose that bundle. Alright. An asterisk next to the magic item means that it is an item that appears on the new rules section. Oh, okay. So Obsidian Steed looks like a new item during that time. So just choose a bundle. So you can't get the magic armor plus the belt of sacrifice. Ah, only get one. Thanks to the of the MacLear, because you helped David and then King Ragnar. Got it. New rules. Oh, that's just for the items. Excuse me. And that's it. That's the adventure. And that is the Sea Drake. Good job. We finished 2 adventures in one stream. Look at that. We're very productive today. I need to make sure that this is safe. Where King Ragnar resides. We're very, very productive today. 336 mark. Yeah. There's one thing that's itching my head. I want to know if it's just me or I want to know that if David's father, I know there's a mention here, or at least in my head, there's a mention that David's father is a Northlander. I want to know if it's just my imagination, I'm just making stuff up, or I saw it here. He's going to see his grandfather in Norland. Give him, alright, you have that. Was David explained here? Oh. Alright, here. Let's see. Right now, David from other adventures. David is a young man in his mid-teens, anxious for action. The voyage aboard the Sea Drake is his first as commander. Typical Northlander. Tall, adventurous, okay. Though he looks and acts like a Northlander, he is a mix of folk and Northlander stock. Okay. So it doesn't really say half-half, so it can be... Yeah. His long flowing blonde hair and deep blue eyes. Where he's at sea, he wears leather. Treats any Moonshavian. Alright. His father, yeah, it might be on other adventure, on the previous adventure. Anyway, I'll try to find it. If you saw it, if you remember it, let me know. Because right now, I'm under the assumption that one of David's parents is a Northlander and then the other is folk. But initially, I thought it was the chieftain, the father, that's the Northlander. That's why we were thinking... that Warlsbury is a kind of like a colony of Norland. Okay, but we'll find it. I'll find it. Okay. Good job, everyone. Good job, researchers. We survive. We've looked at 2 adventures. How many do we have left? I have... Tomorrow, it only says that Brendan in 1-1, McClear is chieftain. Then I might just be imagining stuff. Okay. My bad. But tomorrow, same time, 11 p.m. Manila, 10 a.m. Eastern. So... if you want to join me, learn more about these 4E Moonshae adventures so we know what happened before Rising Shadows, which is the last storyline that occurred in the Moonshaes. If you want to learn about that with me, as we go through these adventures, we're going to talk about the Black Gold. That's the name of 1-3. That's tomorrow. And then 1-4 is named Black Blood. I'm assuming these are Black Blood is gonna be about those lycanthropes. Poor Moray. I'm so sad about what's happening to that isle. But yeah, thank you very much, adventurers, researchers, wherever you are right now, and thank you for staying here. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. All right, we're good. And remember, I want you to follow your heart, but if you're in Moray, don't stay outside. Okay, go inside. Moray 50 years ago. I don't know. I don't know if what happened, how long this was, but we'll figure it out as we read more of the adventures. See ya. See ya, everyone. See you tomorrow for as we discuss or read through 1-3 and hopefully 1-4 as Moon 1-4 as well. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.